The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
Well, let's get her, Cubby. Let's ignore the odds and go ahead with the Tuesday edition of the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Welcome, everyone. I'll be damned. It is 5:42 in the godforsaken AM. Dana, you big childlike bastard, you.
Yeah, what'd I do now?
We're going to start in on you right away.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I can only guess what this is about.
You big nervous sumbitch.
I
We're
know.
gonna start in on you right away. Dana, you have to pay closer attention to your work.
Okay.
You got to pay a little closer attention. Doesn't he to his editing? You got to pay a little closer attention to your editing.
Every once in a while, sure. Can happen to anybody.
It can happen. Doesn't happen to me or Josh, but it can happen.
The point is, it could. Just never does.
Never does. I rolled into the studio this morning and gave a quick look-see at an article that Dana found that hopefully would be, on-air worthy. Hopefully it would be something that we could turn into a good live conversation. It's called Show Prep, Ashley. You should look into it at one point or another.
Whatever.
It's in
just out here wasting trees.
It's an industry term. It's called Show Prep.
Now, here's the thing.
I'm taking my paper back.
You just said she should look into it. With her lack of prep, she's never going to look into it. She's never going to know what's going on around here.
Oh.
We keyed.
So I gave this article a quick look-see. And by God, it is. It is something that we could turn into a good live conversation. All you have to do is read Dana's headline. Here's what I read when I sat down. Dudes are now injecting their dogs.
Oh, no.
Hang on. Dudes are now injecting their dogs with plasma, and a lot of Minnesotans are doing it. So I said to myself, my damn.
Good for you. Good for you, Nick, because I saw that and I deleted it. Because I thought, what are we going to talk about dogs getting injected with plasma for? And I just realized, did he mean dongs?
I just realized now that he meant dongs, too. I thought, but I was different, Josh. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Why are dogs getting injected with plasma?
Yeah, I went the opposite way on that.
Josh read the headline and gassed the article immediately.
I thought, there's too much to read around here. Dogs getting injected with plasma. Let's move on.
Maybe possibly if Dr. Andrea Johnston, our veterinarian friend, was on her way in this morning, maybe you run that by her. Doesn't surprise me that Ashley thought that would be on-air worthy, where Josh said, what the hell are we going to talk about? Plasma and dogs. But what happened here, so then I read the opening line in the story, and it said, cosmetic surgery isn't just for the chicks anymore. It's becoming more common for guys to explore procedures for improving sexual health. And then I said to myself, what in God's name does that have to do with our dogs?
Yeah, and plasma.
Is Dana having sex with dogs? Why would he? And then it dawned on me. Just a simple misspelling, what you meant to print in that headline.
I should have shimmied that end in there, shouldn't I have?
Yeah.
Is dudes are now injecting their dongs with plasma, and a lot of Minnesotans are doing it.
I'm glad you kept reading. That's great. That's much more interesting than what I thought it was going to be.
Maybe what that proves, Josh, that I continued reading to where you eliminated the article immediately. That probably speaks to how much The difference is we have in free time, maybe, where you need to quickly move the hell on from something that you perceive to be stupid because you've got lots and lots. Maybe I don't have quite as much.
Well, here's a lesson for me. Read the first. If Dana sends something, it could just, the headline could be completely boring, but then read the first line because it might be something fascinating.
Right. Not dogs. God help us, I don't think any of us are injecting our dogs with plasma to improve our sexual health.
The dogs are safe. I promise you the dogs are safe. The dongs, on the other hand, might be at risk.
Dongs, peckers, wads, tallywhackers.
I've had my penis injected before for a procedure.
I was threatened recently.
Oh, you were?
I was.
That somebody was going to inject your penis?
Yeah, well, you go ahead and tell your story first, and because I'm familiar with this. You were injected not that long ago. Tell us about the pain levels. Tell us about the whole experience again.
You guys know what an erection is, right?
Yeah, currently have one.
So they needed that for this particular procedure, which is humbling and embarrassing.
These were professionals that needed the erection for a procedure?
They claimed to have been professionals. It was a brand new van, so I'd imagine it probably was.
They had the uniforms and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was me, my urologist, who is, by the way, he's an awesome, hilarious guy. And it's weird to say I have a urologist, but I had to go a few times.
You got a regular guy.
And then there's 3 nurses in there, which was embarrassing. Now, luckily, they kind of weren't looking. One staring at the screen as he has to measure what I got going on. Thank God they do it in centimeters.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I've never learned that.
It's a big number, though.
No, I mean, like on a ruler or whatever, I just say, you got the... Well, I was going to say 4 inches. All right. You got the 8 inches and then a couple of little marks above that. That's about as far as I go. So they set it in centimeters.
Centimeters creates a much larger, more impressive number.
But to get me there, they had to inject me. And then...
What was that like to take a needle to your special purpose?
Well, intimidating, the size difference.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, this is really dwarfing my penis. It was it was a little nerve-wracking, obviously.
Pain range.
Not bad at all. The prick to the prick wasn't bad at all.
Comparable... compare it to the swab ski.
Oh, you can't even compare.
Not
that
comparable.
Swab is a nightmare.
The swab is the worst thing.
This wasn't bad.
Damn near the worst thing that's ever happened to a penis was when they invented that godforsaken swab.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the clap or whatever it's testing for than get that swab. But so then he hands me an iPad and says, "I got a movie on there for you. Why don't you watch that? We're going to step out, right, to try and get things going."
Yeah.
And I had asked him, like, well, what if nothing happens? He's like, oh, trust me, something will happen. And he was right.
How fast was it? Was it like go gadget boner? Like
No, that's what I thought. I thought it was going to be he injected it.
Were any of the office personnel in the movie?
No, but Dana, your mom was.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So you sat there. I know you've told this story before, and I hate myself. I think my memory is going. But this is quite a moment for you. You don't watch adult movies. You're against that kind of thing, and you think that people who enjoy adult movies, you think that they're deviant animals.
No, that is not true. I've said that before. I am not a kink shamer whatsoever.
No, he's not. I'm joking. So you sat there and with your little pee-pee in a porno movie in the doctor's office?
Yeah. And then you're in this situation. I'm afraid to say right away. Because it happened pretty quick. I needed to give it a little time. Like maybe I was a little more studly. Like it's not going to work instantaneously on this bad boy. You're going to have to do more than that to get me going right away. But I didn't look at the movie. It worked pretty good. But then I thought if I'm in here too long, they might think that I'm going for it on myself.
You're enjoying it.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I did have to ask. Has anyone ever done that? And,
Boy, what a moment there where you molest yourself. Until you've gained, what was the word you used again earlier?
An erection.
You molest yourself until you gain an erection, and then you holler through the door, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, I had to do that. But the moral of the story is Dana's mom makes pornography.
Right.
It's true.
So I was recently threatened with a shot to the privates. I went and saw my doctor recently for a completely separate issue. But then, you know how the doctor will come off now and again as he's wrapping things up. He said, anything else on your mind? Is there anything else you're worried about? And I said, well, actually, maybe I should haul it out for you here, son. Because there was something or another on my brajola. Just a little something or another. Kind of looked like a bump, like a lump, like a stump, just a little something. And I said, what's that? You know, I brought it out for the doctor, and I said, what's that? And he said, oh, it's nothing. It's just a little something thing there.
That's kind of what I had going on.
Yeah.
Similar.
Remember years ago when I was convinced I had Hennepin County's all-time most grotesque case of genital warts?
Yeah.
This is twice now I've gotten lucky. This is 10, 15 years ago. Oh, God, I was convinced that my sex life was completely over. I looked into my pants one day and I said, oh, Jesus, I finally did it this time. Oh, I was just covered in, oh, it was horrible. I looked on the internet and I said, oh, it's genital. Because what I had going down there was, it looked like what I saw on the internet. I said, oh, those friggin' gals in Ely, they got me this time. I got genital warts, and I went to the doctor, and I said, look at this. And he said, no, it's not genital warts. It's like just this skin thing. You could have gotten it on your elbow. You could have gotten it on your knee, but you got it on your friggin' brajola.
You were just lucky.
And I was lucky that time. I was lucky this time, too. So I hauled it out for the doctor. This is just recently. I said, what the hell is that thing? And he said, it's totally normal. It means nothing. And he said, there are two options for you. He said, I can stick a needle in it, and it'll go away immediately, or you can just let it chill there for however long it feels like living on your penis, and it'll go away on its own. And I said, I will take option B.
Yeah, I think I would as well.
Of course, yeah.
Now, that could have been worse. You were piercing something. For me, it was just, I'm assuming he picks a non-painful area just to get things going down there.
Where did he give you the shot?
Right on the side of my weenski.
Oh.
Right there on the side of my dog, Dana. Right there on the side of the dog.
So where we...
Good boy.
Yes.
One wire nut Jesus said, on the topic of you, Nick, being afraid you're losing your memory.
Oh, Jesus.
He said they say that the memory is the second thing to go as you get older.
First is pecker strength. First is hair. What's the...
No, he said he can't remember what the first thing is.
Oh! So where we started here was poking fun at Dana because he misspelled a word in his show prep. Instead of dudes are now injecting their dongs with plasma, Dana tried to tell us that dudes are injecting their dogs. But it's really dongs. And I think we have heard about this before. It sounds familiar to me. It's called the pee shot. Does that sound familiar to you, Josh? I thought we'd gone down this path before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Botox. I think they inject.
That is what they call it. Yeah. They shoot you with a big, sharp needle. They throw some plasma and some Botox into your pee-pee. And it's supposed to improve erectile function, enhance your sex life, blah, 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 on and on. You've heard the story before. But I guess, furthermore, Minnesotans are lining up for this. Minnesota bros are down with the pee shot. We rank 9th in the country when it comes to hauling it out for a doctor and allowing him or her to stab you there with that plasma. Costs around $1,600 for him to stab you violently. From what I understand, it does take some force. The doctors do have to wind up quite a bit.
Running start.
$1,600. It depends on where you're at, how much this stuff costs. If you're in Massachusetts, it's only $500
Dang.
to be stabbed in the penis.
You think that's something you want to skimp on? You know?
Oh, I'll take the cheap sumbitch. I'll take the discount stabbing. I
I'd be
will.
a little worried.
Again, if I was in my 20s, I'd be worried now. I don't know, whatever. For whatever reason, if you're in the state of Virginia, it's $2,600. Well, whatever. It doesn't give you any size. It doesn't fatten it up or anything. It's just all this idea that the plasma and the what does this say again? I've heard this before. The platelet-rich plasma and the Botox will just have your friggin' your pecker just jumping around town again like you're a senior in high school.
Dana, did you read anything about, is it like a one and done situation?
No, it's kind of like just like Botox, where you kind of keep freshening it up.
You can go in every once in a while.
I was going to say that's a pretty good deal for just a one and done situation, but yeah, that's pricey then.
Let me tell you something. Over the weekend, I hooked up with some old high school buddies, guys that I don't see very often. Had a lot of laughs. And one of them, my damn, is he loyal to that Viagra.
Oh, how did that come up?
Oh, a bunch of old guys sitting around drinking beer,
It's bound.
It's bound to come up. We all, someone said something about their wife or their sex life or something, and one dude said, you got to get your mitts on some of that Viagra. I mean, he went on and on about it for 20 minutes or so about how he just, it saved his, I shouldn't say it saved his marriage, but he said his wife loves every second of his Viagra habit.
My friends are very open about their sex lives. So none of them must be on Viagra, because I'd imagine then they would have brought it up.
You would have heard about it.
Yeah.
Because you've told us stuff about your friend's sex life. So I imagine, like you said, if they were on Viagra, that would be a topic of conversation.
I don't know. Some guys, everybody's different. Some guys are very willing to bring it up, like my pal that I was hanging out with on Saturday night. There are probably plenty of guys out there who don't want anyone to know about it. They look at it as, they're less than the average man, that they need that assistance. I mean, it depends on who you are. But this one pal of mine, by damn. I mean, I next time I see him, I expect him to be wearing a Viagra ball cap and a Viagra home jersey.
So he's somebody who needs it, not that just wants to, add a little extra.
Yeah, last longer.
Well, he must. He didn't give any details, and I mean, we were all probably laughing and enjoying ourselves so much, no one bothered to ask. I don't remember if he was clear on why, if it was, he absolutely needs it, or he just decided to try it. I'm not 100% sure. But he said, he and the wife are just wrestling around the house like it's New Year's Eve. Me and another guy that were at the table, we admitted that we're a little nervous about those kinds of things because both of us have heart conditions, and I don't.
Oh, yeah, I would be careful.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know any facts at all about Viagra and the heart, or any boner medication and the heart. I've just heard stories that it could be a little iffy, but that's as far as I could go on the topic. I've just always heard maybe if you have a heart issue, you should be careful.
I just remember this dude that we had on air years ago, and he said he overdid the Viagra and he couldn't get another erection for a very long time.
It was his first time he was ever with a woman.
Yeah.
She told him to try it.
That's freaky.
Let me
couple.
go ahead with this now, because I ran this story by my bro that night. I said, I have heard one really bad story about that stuff. And again, this was like Josh said, this was a kid called our radio station. Maybe it was during a damn Dr. P segment. I don't remember. But he said the very first time he had sex, his girlfriend and the two of them decided that he should take a fistful of Viagra. Well, whatever, young people doing stupid things. He did. And tell me if I'm wrong, Josh. And let me take back what I said a second ago. I don't know that it was Viagra. It was some kind of hard-on.
That's what he said. It was Viagra.
Did he? Okay. Mm-hmm. He popped a bunch of these pills, and if my memory serves me correctly, it killed his ability to get an erection for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my.
That's right. And again, it was he lost his virginity, so it was you think after that, hey, things might start rolling.
I mean,
here.
he was 18, 19 years old or something like that.
Oh, he missed the prime years. That's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was.
Too bad.
When we talked to the kid, well, now he's not a kid anymore. He's 39 years old. He said, "By damn," is what he said.
I bet he's really good at
everything else.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. He probably
Had nothing else to do.
It took me a second.
This dude's got more oral sex blue ribbons on his wall.
He's got the strongest jaw in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, blue ribbons, trophies.
That's incredible.
So, Minnesota boys, everybody's doing it. They're getting the plasma and Botox shot into their gear.
Ashley,
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
So we were talking about how painful the swab is, and supposedly they don't do it anymore. I've heard both. I had a doctor tell me they don't do it anymore. I told Nick, "Oh, don't worry about getting STD test." My doctor just had me pee in a cup. He said, "We don't do that anymore," and he kind of laughed at me when I told him I was afraid of it. And Nick got the swab. That was not fair. He used me as a conduit to pass on bad information to my best friend in the entire world.
God.
And so I inadvertently caused your penis pain, and I hate that. I hate that.
It's horrible. You've apologized for this over and over again, and I accepted your apology the first time. It was a horrible experience for me. I mean, I was skipping into the doctor's office.
I was excited to tell you.
Yes, you told me because I was a little concerned. I'd been a little aggressive lately. I was slutting it up pretty badly. And I asked Cubby, my best friend, do they do the swab anymore? And he says, no. Hell no, that's medieval. No, you just pee in a cup. They take a whiff of it. They know what STD you do or don't have. So, I mean, I was dancing down the hallway. Da-da-da-da-da-da, to see my
I talked you into getting tested.
Yeah, and I said, give me every STD test you can come up with. What do you got? I can handle it. Because you don't do the swab anymore. As the doctor comes into the room with the giant swab and he says, get it out.
It takes two people to carry it in, actually.
He held me down by the throat, and he just snaked it. He's
terrible.
He goes, you slutty son of a bitch, I knew you.
Oh, my God.
So it was horrible.
It feels like there's lava in there.
Yeah.
It hurts so bad. Well, the reason I bring it up is because angry postal worker Jesus says, oh, the swab is bad? Try getting that speculum up there every so often.
That's absolutely awful.
Is it real? Okay, I knew it was uncomfortable, but it's painful?
Oh, it is incredibly painful. I have, purposely gotten out of it so many times, even though I have been due for one for probably a couple years now, because I just don't want to. It hurts so bad.
Oh, no.
And
I'm sorry to hear that.
And it doesn't matter, how much sex you've had or, if you use tampons versus pads or whatever, because girls try to make me feel better. It's not that bad if you've had other things go up there, but it hurts a lot. I don't like it because you don't want it. So your body doesn't relax at all. So you're just tense as heck.
I hadn't heard that before.
The weirdest part, though, the first time I got mine done, I got a really nice woman. She actually made sure she heated it up. Some doctors haven't done that for me.
Blowtorch or whatever. Yeah.
But she had freezing cold hands, and it was kind of adorable because she started at my knees and worked her way down so that I wasn't afraid. She would just go for it.
Yeah, you don't want you to be jumping up out of the chair when.
It's a little bit of foreplay. I thought it was adorable. It's you could just go for it. This is kind of more awkward at this point.
She's slowly walking her fingers up your leg. Yeah. I know my hands are a little cold. Don't want to scare you.
Disc golf champ Jesus said, you ain't lived until you had a camera shoved up your pee hole. I have had that.
Oh, my gosh.
Josh has had camera crews up there.
I had
sound guys.
Everything.
He's got a boom mic.
It's just not
There's a van. The boys in the van are doing all the work. Right.
Yeah, I had a gerbil band that crawled up there. Yeah, I had the same thing. I had a bit of a cancer scare, a bladder cancer scare, and so they did that. Now, I don't want to discourage anyone from getting checked out. It's obviously important. I can tell you that was uncomfortable.
Yeah. I've heard some stories.
They numb you up and all that kind of stuff. And I remember my urologist, which again is weird that I can say my guy. He's like, oh, isn't this fascinating? Look at this. Your bladder, it's never seen light. And here we are. We're looking around. I'm just like, hey, can we skip the tour? This is really
cool.
uncomfortable.
He tried to make it fun and interesting for you.
I'll watch the video later. Let's just end this as quick as
Hey,
possible.
wow, look at how light it is now. It was a minute ago, it was dark.
That's never seen the light of day.
And if you look on the right side of the bus,
You'll see Josh's ovaries.
Now, just ignore the screaming and crying.
When the hell did you get ovaries? All right, well, we got to get going again. But anytime we're talking penises, and especially when we head down the road of aging penises and the idea of medicating them so they can function properly, it always makes me think of one of my favorite moments ever at my neighborhood bar. I was just wandering around on a Sunday afternoon, and there were 3 old-timers sitting at a table. 2 of them are dead now. Miss you, boys. But the 3 of them were sitting at a table, and the oldest one gets up on his feet. And that was a process. At the time, he was in his 80s, and he's getting off. You know, he's been sitting on that bar chair for a while, and he gets up off his chair, and he's like, well, that ought to do it for me. And the other 2 old boys said, where are you going? And he goes, ha! I got a date. And everyone in the bar kind of chuckled because he was legitimately going out on a date as an 85-year-old man. He was going out with some lady. And one of his old buddies goes, assault with a dead weapon. All right, maybe he had to be there. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with AutoQuote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at DriveEasyMD.com.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Stupid news, huh? All right. I talk about it all the damn time around here. Not because I want to, but because damn near every day a social media dork steps on their own unit trying to become internet famous. So I do mention all the damn time, online attention is the most powerful and dangerous drug in the world. Here's a feller in China. He went as far as to create a whole new persona for himself. His authentic self wasn't drawing dick for attention on social media, so he created a new vibe. He went ahead and told folks online that he was a dangerous wanted criminal. That's right. That's the ticket. I'm a dangerous wanted criminal. He told all the 8th graders and the other general social media tools out there that he had recently stolen $4 million from somebody. He told folks that he had a gun and ammunition. He told them this, he told them that. He challenged people to find him if they wanted a $4,000 reward. He's wanted. Come find me, he said.
I bet that didn't take long. People are very talented.
That's for sure.
Well, it worked. All of his nonsense eventually went, and this is difficult for me to say out loud because it's what I've always dreamed of, his story went viral.
That's the goal.
OMG.
Mission accomplished.
But it also caught the attention, Cubby, of the Chinese cops. And Dinkus here ended up in jail. What a jackhole.
Who would have thought?
Wang is the feller's name. No relation to my old high school buddy by the same name, I'm sure. No relation. So next thing you know, he tells this BS story about what a dangerous character he is. I stole all this money. I got a gun. Next thing you know, the local cops are in his garbage apartment searching it up and down, all because he was desperate for the high school kids to think that he was the number one bad boy in town. Nino Brown, by God. What movie? New Jack City. So, cops didn't find any monies or guns, of course. I bet they found a lot of porn movies and stroke oil, by God. That's just a guess on my part.
One of his punishments should have been like they made him go on live and admit that he made it all up and that he just wanted attention so bad.
And he has to have a dunce hat on, like back in the olden days.
Yeah, just embarrass him.
He really had to make a live video admitting to everyone on social media that he made it up?
No, I said I wish they would have done that.
He got forced to do that to shame him publicly.
Yeah,
well, it's believable. China, I don't know how they operate in China. But Mr. Wang here, he told police that he was sorry for telling his silly little stories. He said he was bored and frustrated with his ordinary dork-ass lifestyle. He's been charged with something or another called intentionally disseminating false information and causing social disruption. What a sad sumbitch.
You should get a second job or something. I mean, how do you get that bored?
Good question.
That would suck, that is, to be so unhappy with how things are going that you decide, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get myself arrested and go to a Chinese prison.
I have unprotected sex. I kill people. Whatever. This also sucks. An old lady out there in a place called Huntington, New York. She gets traffic tickets in her mailbox up and down all the damn time from all over the country. And the bitch of it all is that she doesn't drive a motor vehicle anymore. She stopped driving 4 damn years ago. So what's the deal? I hope you're asking. How could this be the situation this gal finds herself in? The old gal by the name of Beda, B-E-D-A, that's the pronunciation I'm going with. Beda, she thinks her love of the Star Trek television program might be the cause of it all. Here's the story. Back in 2020, Beda upped and surrendered her license plates. She sold her car. She stopped driving. She's old. She's done with it. Her old custom plates had a Star Trek vibe to them. Her plate read NCC 1701, which is the same numbers as you'd see on the Starship Enterprise spaceship that they rode around in the television series.
Would you like to have that license plate, Josh?
Yes, please.
Okay. That was what she had on her license plate.
I'm sorry, I can't sit here. Did you say spaceship?
Spaceship.
Okay, starship, but whatever.
Dork. The story
Wait a minute. I'll take that comment from anybody but you.
Where do you get off?
I would take the text messages that roll in. I would take anybody else here calling me a dork for calling that out sarcastically.
2 words for you, Dana. At least I think it's 2 words. Self-awareness.
I think technically there's a hyphen in there, but no point taken, sir.
Self-awareness. Valuable tool to have. All right. So the gal has the customized Star Trek license plate. She did for years. NCC 1701, the number of the Starship Enterprise. Now, the story says here that for $15 on Amazon and on eBay, Star Trek fans can go ahead and buy a set of gimmick license plates with those same letters and numbers on it. So what's been happening here, Trekkies get online and buy up those Star Trek plates with the same letters and numbers that Beta had on her car for years. The Trekkies go F around and get tickets for this and that. Unfortunately, official records still say that plate number belongs to old Beta out there in New York. So she gets their driving violation tickets mailed to her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's exhausting.
I had something not quite as dramatic or related to one of the greatest television franchises of all time and movies. I got a ticket in the mail once for going through a stop arm on a school bus. And I was nowhere near this, and there was no reason why I'd be there. And I was already at school. This is when I was in high school. And so what happened was somebody had a license plate very close to mine on the exact same vehicle I had.
Oh, yeah?
It was a 1984 piece of crap Ford Escort, 2-tone blue painted with a roller, right? That's what I had.
Nice.
And somebody else had, they didn't have a color on there, but they had a similar license plate. And they just messed up a number. And I end up getting this ticket, and my dad's reaming me out. I'm like, Dad, I was at school. He's thinking I'm cutting school on the opposite end of town or whatever.
Oh, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, I was for a little while there, and I was very confused. And then for a second, I thought, did I pass out and end up in a different city when I thought I was in algebra?
Mm-hmm. So from all over the country, tickets come to this lady's address because of this Star Trek snafu. All kinds of tickets, running a red light, speeding, parking in a school zone. She also gets hit with those cute little Easy Pass tolls, if you follow that gimmick. Once she got a phone call from Ohio, the police told her that a car with her old plate number was involved in a robbery. She never did once ride on one of those motorcycles in her entire life, but she received a ticket for some style of motorcycle riding violation. She says she's run out of ink and run out of stamps trying to answer every summons that's dumped into her mailbox. She's been billed tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I'd imagine it lost its humor pretty quickly.
She's going to snap and start choking people out pretty soon.
Oh, I would have already. Because I would have lost one of them. They would have, came after me. There would have been, some type of warrant situation. I mean, good for her for, staying on top of this.
I bet she now hates Star Trek.
Yeah,
probably.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
She'll meet a man named Kirk and knee him in the balls. Lawyers and whatnot are trying to help an old lady out. But that's the nightmare she's living right now because she had dorky Star Trek license plates.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if I know anybody. By the way, last name Kirk. But I'm trying to think if I know anybody who has a license plate based on a television or movie series. Certainly, I have a couple of friends who have customized license plates, but it's related to their business or family name.
I know somebody that has their license plate is from a Harry Potter reference.
Oh, maybe you don't want to. What kind of reference? To one of the spells, to one of the characters?
Yeah, to one of the spells. It's really cute. I like it. And she also has a bunch of Harry Potter stickers all over her car as well. So cute.
I see those new Vikings license plates and Wild license plates more and more out there.
We've got one.
Mm-hmm.
Those look nice.
Josh, I don't think I've ever met anybody with a personalized plate of any way, shape, or form other than your cousin.
Oh, yeah, he had one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
It was really dumb, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Your cousin's personalized plate was one of the dumbest I've ever heard of.
There's a lot of dumb things about that cousin and that side of the family. but that was one of them. Yeah, it was stupid.
It made no sense. He couldn't even explain it, could he?
I don't think he knew what was going on.
And what kind of Vikings plate do you have? I'm sorry.
Well, we have, my wife's car has a Vikings plate on it.
You mean it has, like, the plastic framing says Go Vikings?
No, it's a Vikings-themed official license plate.
Oh, I see. So it has, like, the helmet or the logo in there somewhere with the numbers and the letters.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I don't notice those. Let me dump this on you now while we're talking motor vehicles. What I have here for you is the strangest car laws still in effect right here in the once proud and powerful United States of America. Says here, most laws tend to make perfect sense when they're passed, but changes in technology, the passing of time, or a complete shift in public perceptions can often make these laws seem very strange after a while. In the United States, there are plenty of old-ass automotive laws that are still in force. Some make absolutely no sense in a modern context. So here we go. These are some of the strangest car laws still in effect. If you wash your car in San Francisco and then try to dry the vehicle off with a pair of used underwears, you'll go to jail.
The best part of that is someone did it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's no law against using clean underwears, but if you use a dirty pair, so long, sucker, jail time and a fine.
If I caused that law to be coming into effect, I would brag about it all the time.
Be careful where you open your car door in Oregon. If you leave your door open so that it becomes a hazard for other drivers, you'll receive a ticket, and that makes sense. You know, you can't have your doors swung open to where it becomes a danger to other drivers. You can't leave your doors open longer than necessary to load and unload passengers. A few days ago, maybe more likely a few weeks ago, me and the wife got home from doing something or another. I pulled up the driveway. We both get out and go into the house. And 20 minutes later, I look outside, and my wife did not close the passenger door of my pickup.
What? Why?
I don't know. And I said, "What? Are you still getting things out of the pickup?" No. I said, "Well, you left the friggin' door open." I mean, it's like a lack of focus, a lack of care for my vehicle. You know, raccoons and whatever could crawl in there and make babies. He just got out the vehicle and
So do you think if it was her car, she'd have the presence of mind, but it's just the disrespect?
I think it was a lack of respect for my property.
Yeah, she doesn't have to think about it because it's your car, not her car.
Now, how many times have you gotten in and out of a vehicle at this point in your life? Don't you remember that second part? You get out, you close the friggin' door. So I had to go outside and close it.
It's cold out.
Was she in a hurry, like maybe chasing a whore away? She hates whores.
She may or may not have been in pursuit of a whore.
Yeah, I bet that's what it was.
Chase him right out the house.
I saw a guy take out a bicyclist at Lake Nokomis once.
Swinging that door
Yeah,
open?
he opened the door at the wrong time.
no.
That bicyclist was effed up. Felt bad for the
That's
guy.
kind of awesome to see, though.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy to see.
In slow motion really would have made it perfect.
Yeah.
In Montana's, driving a car with just your sheep as a passenger will get you a fine. You need a chaperone if you're going to drive with the sheep in the car. The idea is the chaperone will make sure the sheep doesn't distract you from your driving and cause accidents. So you got to have a babysitter for your sheep. In a place called Evanston, Illinois, you'll be breaking the law if you undress in your car.
Oh, I would be screwed. I've done that so many times.
Well, yeah, you've mentioned you've thrown panties out the window.
Yep. Yeah, I've always changed in my car. You got to find a good
Are you some
spot,
sort
though.
of superhero, or what's the cause of that?
Let's go back.
Just, going from one place to the other and not wanting to go in and use like a grocery store bathroom or something like that.
Can we go back to the panties thing in case there are new listeners who don't know the story? Correct me if I'm wrong. Back when you were a younger person, You would usually keep a spare pair of drawers in your purse or whatever.
Yep.
And then at some point in the middle of the day, you'd say, well, I've worn these panties enough. I'll put on the fresh ones. So in the car, you would remove your underwears. You'd throw them out the window and put on your fresh ones.
Yep.
And why didn't you hang on to the old ones? Just put them in a plastic bag or something and then bring them home and put them in the laundry just because you didn't want to bother with it?
I mean, what's going on down there where it's bad enough you got to change mid-commute and then get rid of the evidence?
Did you have an infection?
No, at that time, I was a server, and I was just starting to see a guy that I really liked. So whenever I would leave, like a double shift, 12 hours on your feet, you're not going to be very fresh down there.
No.
So then I'd go straight from my job to his house. And for some reason, I was like, I don't know why I didn't keep them and then, do laundry the next day. Maybe I was afraid he was going to, open my glove box and find a used pair of panties in there.
Dirty undies in here.
Yeah, that probably would have ruined the relationship.
I understand. After a 12-hour shift at a restaurant, those drawers they become a biohazard.
Yeah, they've seen better days.
Yeah. What else do we have here for weird car laws?
Neck like a stack of dimes, arms like buggy whips, Jesus said. Now, imagine, Ashley throws her used panties out the window, someone finds them and drives their car, and boom, jail time.
That's right.
You really tied it all together.
You don't want to be shouting obscenities out your car in Maryland. Stick to hand gestures, I guess. If someone can hear your dirty language, you may be liable for a fine or possibly jail time. You can't be cursing out the window at other drivers. And what were we just saying a minute ago about customized plates, vanity plates?
Mm-hmm.
This is cute. In New Jersey, you must have a clean driving record for a minimum of 10 years before even thinking about applying for vanity plates. No speeding, no reckless driving, any other moving violation for a decade. So if you're in New Jersey and you see someone with those douchey vanity plates, they must be a half-decent driver.
I like that one.
Could anyone here not qualify if that rule was in Minnesota?
I would not qualify, no.
You wouldn't? How recent?
3 years ago.
I haven't had a ticket in certainly over 10 years, so I could go ahead and get me some vanity plates if I were a douchebag in New Jersey.
I just thought of a couple of vanity plate-related stories. Remember, there was a listener who we met, 25 years ago, who showed up, and he had some real douchey vanity plates, but he couldn't have been a nicer guy.
Oh. It was...
Don't judge a guy by his douchey plates.
Well, I'd say 9 times out of 10 you can. In this case, I remember when we saw this dude's vanity plates parked in the parking lot of an event, a building we were going to broadcast live from. Nightmares. Those were nightmarish days. We were always broadcasting live from somewhere, and it sucked every time. So Josh and I are walking into the event, the building, and we see this car parked, and we see the vanity plates. And it took the wind right out of our sails. We already were not looking forward to this event. But then when we saw those vanity plates, we thought, okay, this is the worst day of our lives.
and he had a sports car, and it kind of, that added to it.
Just the thought of someone with those vanity plates is going to be inside the building where we're about to broadcast, it ruined any motivation we had for the event.
I was actually surprised the state let him have it. I'd imagine nowadays they probably wouldn't. It was sexual related. But he could not have been a cooler guy. And
Josh is right.
We've heard from him over the years.
When we met him, I couldn't believe it. When he said, hey, I'm blankety blank, he referred to himself by his vanity plate.
Yep.
We both said, oh, yeah?
I don't know if I believe you. I have to meet the guy.
Trust us.
That's hard to come back from.
I promise you, he's an awesome guy.
Ashley, there's nothing you can say to me that... anything you're thinking right now went through my mind as well when we were meeting this individual. I thought the absolute worst. I thought it was impossible for someone with such a douchey license plate to be a decent human being. He's even beyond that. He's a very nice, very normal guy. I think he admitted right away, yeah, I don't know why I did that, but Whatever. You can't always judge a book by its cover.
I just sent Ashley the license. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
you know what?
so bad.
Listeners know him. Yeah, they're texting in. That's correct. We probably shouldn't give away someone's license plate, but yeah, that's exactly who we're talking about. If you this person said they worked with him, if you talk to him, let them know we love him. Sometimes I have to tell people my plates aren't personalized because they look like they could have been personalized plates.
I noticed.
And in a very douchey way.
The douchiest way possible.
So close.
Oh, you noticed it, Dana? I thought I told you.
No, I noticed it.
Oh, did you think I did it on purpose?
No, I knew you would never do anything like that on purpose. It's just luck of the draw.
Yeah.
You have plates that could be mistaken as personalized?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I know you've brought this up, but I don't remember. And I'm obviously not going to ask you to mention your... Well, there you go. While we're on the topic of Josh here. Cold-blooded move on your part, Cubby.
Oh, I didn't mean anything by it.
Josh knows we're already hurting around here. Quite a bit. Dana and I especially. Two guys who like to live a mostly condiment-free life. We're still pretty upset that the Golden Gopher Football Club is going to be playing in a mayonnaise-sponsored bowl game in a couple of weeks. But yet Josh pushes this story on me for today's Stupid News Report. Everybody knows that mayonnaise is disgusting and that, in general, condiments are for sissies.
Sissies, even. What about hot sauce?
And then my beloved Cubby kicks us when we're down by including these next two stories in today's Stupid News Report. We better hustle because I want to get through both of them. Dana and I will be lucky if we get through this without one of us vomiting, or at the very least, developing that pre-vomit buildup of saliva.
Oh, I hate
You know
that.
what I'm talking
Yes.
about?
Yep.
That sucks.
Cold-blooded that you did this. Here's part one of the nightmare. A disgusting couple recently went ahead with a ketchup-themed wedding.
Oh, for love of God.
It's obnoxious in the first place to have a themed wedding. Obviously, even worse, to bring stupid ketchup into the mix. If you're older than 9 and you put ketchup on a hot dog, you're a punk, and I'll fight you, Dana said.
Let's fight.
You put ketchup on hot dogs?
I love ketchup. Not this much. This is a little scary.
A ketchup-themed wedding. These are terrible people. The two of them go by the names Joyce and Roy. What is this, 1946? I'm just going to find every reason to pick on these people. Is this 1946? When's the last time you met a couple named Joyce and Roy? Unless you were at a funeral parlor. But anyway, they got married in Italy. Nobody truly loves these people. Says here, during the bride's reception reveal, whatever that means, I've never heard those words put together, but it's, modern, hip, all this, everything is a party, everything's just, we got engaged, we're pregnant, we had sex, party, let's have a get-together.
Sex.
Okay, during the bride's reception reveal, the bride told the photographer for the wedding that her favorite condiment was ketchup, and her wedding vision was born.
I have a problem with that being her favorite condiment. There's so many better ones out there.
I'm a spicy mustard guy. Maybe that'd be my favorite.
You're my spicy mustard.
You know it.
There was ketchup and or tomatoes all over the reception. It was a horror show. Tomato cans everywhere you looked. And the bride and groom are so proud of themselves. What they did was so unique and original. I'm going to close this out. And this will be the toughest part of the whole experience for me. We're already ass-deep in ketchup conversation, and that's difficult for me. But on top of all that, I have to close with a ketchup-related pun. And, Josh, puns piss me off, too.
Mm-hmm. I think you secretly love them, but, yeah, you get irritated.
You couldn't be more wrong. You couldn't be more wrong. At these effing scumbags' wedding receptions. There was a neon sign hanging at the reception. And
do it.
And the sign said, "Love you from head to my toe."
Cute.
So stupid.
It's actually not over. It's not over.
Good. I don't want it to be.
I got to get through this, too, or I'll feel like I haven't rid myself of all the pain and frustration. I need closure. Although the ketchup-related content has come to an end. It has. There's still more here that sucks. The wedding dance was led by a dude who calls himself DJ Charlie Poon. I'm not dancing to anything that DJ Charlie Poon puts on a record player. I'm not doing it out of principle.
Respect.
Don't forget now, there's a part 2 to this repulsive set of stupid news information. And this is even more off-putting and stomach-churning than the oh-so-unique douchebag ketchup-loving married couple we just talked about. God help us, the Japanese people. In a lot of ways, they're about the coolest people on earth, Cubby.
I could not agree more.
We love the Japanese people.
That's for sure.
But we got to be real here. They've done something truly awful and unforgivable here. They've created, I can't say this. God help me. The Japanese folks have created a drinkable mayonnaise. And I've decided that I can't be friends with these people anymore.
The burps.
Too far.
A convenience store chain over there has cut this demonic swill loose on the world. A drinkable mayonnaise.
Who asked for this?
It says here in Japan they put mayonnaise on their pizza. There are pop-up mayonnaise-themed cafe summers in town. There's a museum dedicated to mayonnaise. There's even a word in Japanese, mayora, which means a person who's addicted to mayonnaise.
What's going on?
A word for it.
So the convenience store chain that I mentioned, they're called Lawson, which doesn't sound very Japanese to me. They're the bastards who came up with a damned mayonnaise you can drink. The folks at Lawson call this devil's mucus. They call it a long-awaited new product for mayonnaise lovers. Now, reviews on social media in Japan have not been good so far, which is promising because I do not want to hate the Japanese. I've loved them for so long. It would be a shame, Josh, if we broke up now after all these years.
Can you imagine going to, let's say, the 9th out of the 11th sold-out Mr. Big Show, right in a row, at the biggest stadium they have in Japan? And that's what somebody's like, hey, I got to run to the concession stand real quick and get some drinkable mayo.
I'm going up on stage. You know what I'm doing at that point? I'm going up on stage. I'm grabbing Paul Gilbert's guitar, and I'm going to hit that sumbitch over the head with it so he can't go get his drinkable mayonnaise.
You know what Paul would do? He'd get you a second guitar and say, do it again.
Reviews from social media in Japan haven't been good on the mayonnaise cocktail. Someone posted this here. They said, incredibly awful. Avoid purchasing. No mayo lover will enjoy this. Someone else who should go to jail for inappropriate internet content filmed people taste testing the drinkable mayonnaise.
Oh, no.
Son of a bitch. Oh, I almost threw up right there.
Yeah, I can't even like read the story because the way they describe it and like the flavors just.
And you like mayo.
Yeah, I love, I'll eat that on put it on every sandwich I eat. Absolutely. But
sick.
That is too far.
One person said the drinkable mayonnaise, and I'm very thankful that I have no idea what this might taste like. But one person said it reminded them of the watery mayonnaise left in the bowl after eating a salad. Why is there mayonnaise anywhere near your salad in the first place?
Yeah, unless it's like a potato salad or something.
I don't want to hate these people, but what have they done? What have they done?
I'm not fat. I'm aerodynamic. Jesus said, drinkable mayo? What the hell, man?
Okay, that was worth it now.
And you don't like puns.
Smart mouth bastard.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show
The other big story in New York is the new highest paid athlete in the history of sports. The New York Mets last night signed outfielder Juan Soto to a $765 million deal, stealing him from their hated crosstown rivals, the Yankees. And as a Mets fan, I have to say I am very excited to see how terribly this will inevitably go for us.
15 years for $765 million. Here's how the Mets are going to pay for it. One beer is now $200. All the fielders will share one glove. And finally, Mr. Met has to join OnlyFans. It's just...
The New York Mets have reportedly signed former Yankees star Juan Soto to a 15-year, $765 million contract. And if you're wondering how they can afford that, Mr. Met started in OnlyFans.
I agree with that Jimmy Osmond. What the hell is his name? The first piece about Jimmy Kimmel. You heard it here first. The Mets don't win a single baseball game next season.
Wow, that would be impressive.
Despite that $765 million they just handed over to Juan Soto, they won't win a... Unfortunately, we were talking about ketchup and mayonnaise a few minutes ago. Gross garbage that you little punks like to eat. Punks, fake tough guys, Dana calls you people. Mm-hmm. Here's a food-related text message that came in from a feller called March Madness Jesus. He says, I don't judge people based on their skin color, their sexual orientation, their religion, or any of that. But if you dip your buffalo wings or any other style of wings in ranch, you're a lesser form of human than the standard person.
Amen. Say it again, but say it louder this time.
I'll take that any day.
I don't know much about that. I just thought I'd maybe try to ignite a fire. I don't get involved.
I love ranch. Real Minnesotans love ranch.
Ranch is good. I've never put pizza in it, though.
Oh, dude, missing out.
Yeah, ranch.
I actually refuse to eat pizza without ranch. It upsets me when I have to.
I'll tell you what, it's just a terrible thing. Golden Gopher men's basketball got pumped playing last night at the University of Indiana. The Pigs have a game tonight in Utah. Randy Shaver will be joining us here in about a half hour, and I believe Janel Klein is back in the mix, too, today. Stick around. Josh's News is coming up next.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from driveeasymd.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at driveeasymd.com.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
These allegations are disgraceful, and any responsible parties must be held to account for their actions. Our veterans deserve better than this.
A congressional investigation into sexual misconduct at a troubled Veterans Affairs facility in Tennessee revealed at least 12 employees participated in an orgy.
Oh, is that right?
And one employee had sex with 32 coworkers. Several senior officials at the Mountain Home VA Medical Center resigned as the internal investigation and congressional probe into widespread sexual misconduct intensifies. One well-hydrated, I'd imagine, biomedical employee at the facility is accused of sexual relationships with at least 32 female colleagues. The man whore and several women involved reportedly shared details of their encounters on an online forum within a government communication portal intended for VA operations and healthcare discussions. So their work-related chat feature they decided to share this information.
No, I got to be a little bit smarter than that.
Although I can understand the guy that said he nailed 32 coworkers.
I'd want people to know.
Yeah, he'd want that out there.
I'll be damned.
Investigators also uncovered allegations of an orgy involving at least 12 VA employees. Some employees shared explicit details of their encounters on online forums. The investigation also revealed claims of sexual activity on VA property. 2 employees reportedly admitted to inappropriate behavior on the medical center grounds, while questions remain about whether the alleged group incident occurred on federal property or elsewhere. The fact that a culture like this was allowed to develop and thrive is shocking, a senior congressional aide stated.
Must be a lot of downtime at that joint.
Yeah. This failure of oversight starts at the top, they said. The resignations come as pressure mounts on the Department of Veterans Affairs to address the allegations and hold those involved accountable. You can't be doing that.
So no allegations of, abuse of any veterans there at the joint, but when the staff had a spare 5 or 10 minutes, they were just folding each other in half like it was a porno movie.
It appears that way.
I'll be dipped.
A passenger aboard a flight to Tijuana attempted to hijack the plane and steer it toward the United States Sunday. The 31-year-old suspect attacked a flight attendant and tried to force his way into the cockpit to divert the plane. But passengers and the crew intervened, restraining the suspect, and the pilot issued an alert code before landing at Guadalajara International in central Mexico.
I just started praying because I was so scared. I actually thought we were going to die.
Airline personnel said the suspect claimed one of his family members had been kidnapped, and he'd received death threats, warning him not to travel to Tijuana once the flight took off. The suspect, who was with his wife and 2 children, was handed over to authorities when the plane landed.
Scary. I hope that dude cheers up a little bit.
Yeah, obviously terrified the plane was going to go down in Mexico. It's not every day that border agents in Australia stop a woman carrying a 24-karat gold-plated pistol, a cat spine, squirrel feet, and a bottle of rabbit urine on her way to clown school.
That's a hell of a combo.
On her way to clown school?
That's right.
This is going to be the greatest story of the whole day.
But apparently, April 2023 had one of those days. Liliana Goodson, a 30-year-old American, was en route to clown school when a gold-plated pistol in her luggage triggered a customs inspection. Now she's juggling a jail sentence for illegally importing a firearm and ammunition, violating Australia's strict gun laws. Goodson arrived in Australia from Florida in April 2023 for clown school, but was stopped at the border when authorities spotted a 24-karat gold-plated weapon in her luggage. She initially claimed she forgot it was in her bag after telling customs officers she wasn't carrying any prohibited items. However, police discovered she'd searched online for, "Can I have a gun in my bag?" and set a calendar reminder to, quote, "put gun in bag."
F me.
Goodson later explained she brought the gun for protection, admitting she was scared to shoot it, though, and would more likely just pistol whip anyone who attacked her.
I was going to attack this lady, but maybe I would also feel the need to bring protection on my first day of clown school.
Yeah, you don't know who you're going to run into there.
Hell no, you don't know who you're going to run into. We're grown people going to clown school. Maybe I need to arm myself.
And also, we've mentioned this before, everything in Australia is designed to kill you.
Yep.
While she didn't declare the golden gun, she did declare items like a cat spine, squirrel feet, and rabbit urine, though it remains unclear while she traveled with those items.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you don't have any background on the cat spine or the rabbit urine, on what that...
hydration for the urine, maybe?
Clowns are different these days.
Yeah.
They pull different acts, I guess. I don't know. That's a great story.
Iowa City police have charged a 19-year-old University of Iowa student after he was arrested with a pole in his pants. If we could all be so lucky. 19-year-old Cole Swanson was using a trash can to support himself outside a bar early Friday morning. Cole had a pole sticking out of his pants, which definitely drew cops' attention and appeared to be from a construction site, police said. Swanson reportedly showed signs of intoxication, had a fake ID, and registered a breath alcohol level of .207.
That'll get it done.
The student was charged with public intoxication and possession of a fake ID.
What was he going to do with that?
Yeah, was he going to hit somebody with
I don't know. They didn't say.
Hole in his pants.
I guess I get it. I've definitely been drunk enough before where I've grabbed random things and then realized the next morning or later that day, why do I have that? Where did I get that from?
You wake up with a potato peeler in your hand or something? What do you mean? Give us some examples.
One was when I was younger. I don't do this anymore because it's bad. Cones. I would enjoy taking cones.
You're a cone, like the orange thing, like at practice, Josh. You know, we dribble a cone.
On your way walking home from the bar, you see them, you're like, oh, that looks fun.
Okay, I was just going to mention, I have a buddy who woke up and his bedroom was coned, and it turns out it was him. He had taken a bunch of cones and put them in his room, the traffic cones.
He took a bunch of them. So I'd get like one at a time, but that's hilarious. He grabbed like 15 of them?
No, he said it was like 6.
That's awesome.
A 72-year-old, but you said you were young. He was probably 30.
Yeah, maybe don't do that then.
A 72-year-old retired fire captain from Florida has reached a plea deal after shooting down a Walmart delivery drone that had been hovering near his home. This is a follow-up to a story we've talked about before. Dennis Wynn, a former fire captain from New Jersey, was arrested in late June at his Clearmont residence after employees from Drone Up, Walmart's drone delivery partner, reported their drone had been fired upon. The drone was conducting a mock delivery to promote Walmart's new aerial package program. It had been flying at 230 feet, but descended to 75 feet to demonstrate lowering a delivery cable when the incident occurred. Wynn, who was also outside working on his pool equipment at the time, told investigators he initially tried to shoo the drone away. When that didn't work, he fetched his 9mm and fired a single shot. Body cam footage captured Wynn candidly admitting, yes, I shot at it, and jokingly adding, I must be a pretty good shot since they say I hit it. He followed up with a more serious question, how much trouble am I in? Wynn, who has no prior criminal record, has agreed to enter a pretrial intervention program, a form of probation often granted to first-time offenders.
That'd be kind of a cool job. Be a drone operator for Walmart. Just sit around and deliver groceries.
Yeah, that would be cool until it gets shot down. I love that was like their test run. It already didn't work.
Well, I guess we got to make these bulletproof, boys.
I like that it sounds like his demeanor changed. At first he's pretty proud of himself, and then all of a sudden, oh, wait, how much trouble am I in exactly?
A 38-year-old woman in California was taken into custody after pulling a gun on fast food employees because fries were missing from her order. Instead of heading inside to sort things out herself, she initially sent her kids in to handle the situation. Employees asked the kids to have their mom come in with the receipt and they'd resolve the issue, but that set the mother off. She reportedly stormed in, visibly, quote, hangry, and threatened staff, claiming she had a gun in her purse. When police arrived, she admitted there was indeed a loaded pistol in her bag, being held by her 9-year-old daughter, by the way. She had to wait even longer for her food, which ended up being a sandwich and milk rather than a hamburger and fries, the department wrote on social media, referencing her trip to jail. She was booked on several felony charges.
Well, that's one way to handle it, I guess.
A 31-year-old California cop sped down a holiday parade route on a motorcycle, crashed into a crowd of spectators, and injured at least 9 people, severing his hand in the process. It was a brutal crash. The Palm Springs officer reportedly lost control while trying to perform a trick on the parade route just after 6 p.m. Saturday, and unfortunately, the reported wheelie went wheelie bad. We saw him pop a wheelie, and suddenly he went sideways, skidding all over the way over there.
Good Lord.
Veronica Ortiz, a parade attendee. He lost control, let go of the bike, and it went straight into the crowd. Another bystander described the officer's speed as, quote, dumbly fast. The motorcycle, even after throwing its rider, plowed into an elderly couple and 7 others, causing injuries to 10 people, including the officer. Despite eyewitness accounts, Palm Springs police dismissed the claims of a wheelie as a rumor. Palm Springs Police Chief Andy Mills addressed the incident in a Facebook post offering his apology. I feel terrible about the accident and the injuries to the very people we protect, he wrote. Thankfully, none of those injuries were life-threatening. The California Highway Patrol is now investigating that crash.
That's so embarrassing.
You ever see the video, Josh, of, I think it's like a talk show and I think it was somewhere else, far, far from here, like New York or Italy or something. But dude rides a motorcycle onto the scene of the talk show and loses control, and he just mangles himself and sends the motorcycle sailing into the faces of the audience. You look that up on YouTube.
Yeah, it went
That
right
sounds
off the
hilarious.
stage.
Pardon me?
It went right off the stage.
I don't remember a stage. I just remember just an empty studio-type room where they were filming this television show. But they're like, here he is, the amazing Kenny, right? He's some...
Never crashed once.
Right, he's some famous motorcycle stunt guy, and when he entered the scene, just all hell cut loose, and I don't know, you had to be there.
A 21-year-old Florida deputy is on the mend after accidentally shooting herself in the leg at a Walmart Saturday. The mishap unfolded around 1 p.m. at a Walmart in Deltona. After the accidental gunshot, fellow deputies quickly stepped in to provide first aid until EMS arrived. Fortunately, the sheriff's office said she's doing fine and is expected to make a full recovery, just embarrassed. Details about how that incident happened haven't been released. I wonder if it was sitting on the John. We've heard that before, right?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I hate myself.
There have been other recent incidents where individuals accidentally shot themselves in retail stores. In June, a 12-year-old boy in the Bronx accidentally shot himself in the hand at a barber shop. And a gun shop employee in Connecticut had also accidentally shot himself in the hand, in this instance while handling a firearm he believed was unloaded. In just 2 minutes, a pizza delivery driver's livelihood took a hit when his car was stolen right outside Pizza Man in Columbia Heights this weekend.
Oh, no.
The 23-year-old, I haven't had Pizza Man.
It's good stuff.
It is very good.
The 23-year-old had run inside the restaurant to grab an order when a customer broke the news someone had driven off in his 2008 Chevy Malibu.
Oh, nice.
Columbia Heights police reported a witness saw a man hop into the car and speed off toward Minneapolis Friday night. This is how he earns his paycheck and supports his family, shared the owner of Pizza Man, who was moved by the outpouring of support from the community.
It has been a very wonderful show of support from our customer base, and without that, it would have been a very dark day.
Regular customers have stepped in, offering to lend the driver their spare vehicles to help him keep working while his car is missing.
I've had a couple of regular customers reach out and say, hey, I've got a backup vehicle if he needs to borrow one.
The incident is under investigation.
That's awesome that the community is stepping up for that. That's sweet.
Well, the last thing they want to do is not be able to have Pizza Man delivered.
Yeah, that's true. It's only for selfish reasons, Dana.
The series premiere of Secret Level is now streaming on Prime Video. Secret Level is an original series featuring 15 animated standalone short stories based on several video games and franchises. The voice cast includes Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kevin Hart, and Keanu Reeves. Then on Netflix, the stand-up special Jamie Foxx, What Had Happened Was... Fox returns to the stage to share details on his 6-month disappearance from the spotlight due to a health emergency in April last year while filming the Netflix movie Back in Action. Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, Arthur's Jewelers has something for him and for her. Text the word diamond to 651-989-9393. Again, diamond is the word. For tickets to see the Wild take on the Panthers next Wednesday for him. Then for her, you qualify for a 1.5-carat diamond from Arthur's Jewelers, your one-and-done store for the holidays with 10,000 outstanding gifts. You can find all that info at wild.com/hockey tickets. And thanks to the Minnesota Wild and Arthur's Jewelers for sponsoring the giveaway. Couple shout-outs before we get to Randy Shaver and Janel Klein. First, we want to send our best to the family of Minnesota Moses who had to put down their Blackjack Morris. And we send them off with a vigorous good boy. We were sorry to hear that news. Shout out to first-time texter Wyzetta Janitor Jesus. Thanks for listening. We love hearing from you. We can always be reached at the Luther Bloomington Kia text line 651-989-9393. If you want to direct your message to a particular person, just start with their name and send that message on. Good morning to Lincoln, the cool son of coffee-needed Jesus, who sent us a picture of his sweet Vikings chair this morning, looking cool. And that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
Ah! What the hell? I just saw your balls. They're hanging out. Oh, my God. Balls are disgusting. They're hideous.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
We have a special guest today on the Manning Cast.
You all know him as America's favorite nuclear employee and donut-loving dad, Homer Simpson. I'm thrilled to be here. I've been a big fan of this show ever since someone explained to me what it was 5 minutes ago. As you two elite athletes know, sometimes in the moment you just stop thinking and your instincts take over. Well, my instinct was to cry and to pee my pants a little bit.
Been there. Done that.
I'll tell you what, Randy Shaver, how are you this morning, son?
I'm good.
You're back from Florida now, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you happy to be home?
I am happy to be home, yeah.
The nurses over there have you back on your regular medication schedule now?
Yes, pudding time is back at the regular time, yes.
Brad Ryder.
Good morning.
You're there, too.
I am.
Hi, Brad Ryder. You know who else wandered in? Janel Klein. Hi, Janelle.
She lost?
It was on purpose.
The listeners hope so.
See, that's awful that you say those things about yourself. Janelle will be joining us regularly again, or at least until another brutally depressing murder trial cuts loose in some godforsaken part of our country. She'll be with us until that happens again.
Well, good. Well,
Thanks,
hopefully
everybody.
that's a long time.
Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. I missed all the Simpsons stuff last night. I turned on my television because I knew, we had the conversation yesterday, I knew there was going to be some kind of mix-up with the Simpsons and last night's edition of Monday Night Football, but I could not find the proper channel, and so I didn't see any.
Oh, darn. It was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. There was a little bit, it was like a little iffy, sometimes a little laggy, but...
Laggy?
Yeah, it's like a video game term. Wapple knows what I'm talking about. So,
boring? Does that mean boring?
No, it means that like
buffering issues.
Yeah, thank you, Waffle.
Oh, technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a couple times, like an arm would be through somebody's stomach or something like that. But it was really awesome.
Okay.
I watched most of the first half in it. The room I was in didn't have a TV, so we were just streaming it, and it was pretty funny. They obviously put a lot of work into it.
Well, there you go. I missed it. I'm glad you guys had fun.
I actually watched the entire football game on the Manning cast. First time I've ever done that.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought that was actually pretty good.
Is that the first time you've really dug into that, though? I mean, have you?
It's the first time that I've really just sat down and watched the entire game with those guys.
I won't watch Monday Night Football unless they're on.
Oh, really?
Okay. Unless they're on? What does that mean?
Well, they don't do every week. They don't do every game. I mean,
you mean unless the Mannings are on? Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
You're not a Joe Buck fan? Is that
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that I find it a little bit extra entertaining to watch those guys and the guests that they have on and the banter back and forth. And then every once in a while they'll dive into the game a little bit and tell you some things that are going on that maybe you didn't realize. It's really well done.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. I've never really tried it. I hear great things.
Nick, I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
I really think you'd like it because I agree with Brad. There's a lot of, sometimes there's some really good inside baseball where they really break stuff down as it's happening, which is really, very interesting, their perspective of what they see. And sometimes they absolutely predict exactly what's going to happen because they see the defense, they've done their homework, and
they've been there.
It's like they're doing the game.
But they don't take themselves too seriously.
No,
they
not
flip
at
back
all.
and forth between that and being goofy and being entertaining. And
well,
it's a good
that's
mix.
cool. That's cool. I do really enjoy the hell out of Eli Manning. I do. I think he's a very
You'd like it, I think.
funny guy. Maybe before the year is out, I'll try the Manning cast. If you don't mind, I got to go back to our intro where you played some audio of Peyton and Eli Manning talking to Homer Simpson. The Simpsons, they've been on the air for 35 years or something like that. Is there a newer guy doing Homer Simpson's voice that does not sound like the original Homer Simpson voice man?
Not that I'm aware
Still
of.
the same guy.
Yeah, still the same guy.
Dan Castellanetto.
I mean, obviously, time can take its toll on a person, and there's, the guy who does the voice for Homer Simpson, let's say when he started, he was 35 years old. Now he's friggin' 70, right? And that's going to change the way you sound naturally.
It did sound a little different.
Sounded a little different to me.
Yeah, same with the other characters. I wonder if anybody else thought the same way, because I thought all their voices sounded a little different, like almost not really like the show, but like how they would sound if they were put into a video game.
Well, they could have. Yeah, it did sound a little like that. They could have just recorded somewhere else and it was processed a little different.
Or it could be they've gotten older. It's just like a singer,
right?
You can't expect.
I haven't watched it in a while, so I guess I can't compare it to a current episode.
The woman who did a couple voices, the most notably Milhouse, Bart's best friend, the kid with the glasses, she recently retired, and mainly because just her voice, she can't do that voice anymore.
I get that.
Yeah, same with your Jesse impersonation.
I can do a little bit of Jesse now and again, but I can't push it out the way I could 20 years ago, or else I would just simply drop dead. I'm just time, age, it does its thing. Just like you go see Axl Rose in concert these days. I'm not trying to compare myself to a rock star or anything like that. Go see a singer, for God's sake. Axl Rose isn't barking it out like he... A terrible season got worse for the Dallas Cowboys last night on Monday Night Football. They lost 27-20 to the Cincinnati Bengals. And everyone's talking about this gong show blocked punt nightmare that happened in the ballgame. So let me see if I can explain this properly. I did see this happen. I wasn't paying terribly close attention, and I think I had to rewind it to figure out, what the hell just happened? Tie game late in the game. A Cowboys linebacker by the name of Nick Vigil deflected the Bengals, that's not their name, the Bengals punt. This was a 2-minute warning neighborhood right towards the end of the game.
Right.
He deflected a punt. Cincinnati should have steered clear, Dallas should have steered clear of the football, but a Dallas cornerback, whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce, tried to scoop up the ball. He flubbed it. The Bengals recovered. Had this Dallas guy not touched the ball, the Cowboys would have had the football inside Cincinnati territory. But instead, the dude touched it, flubbed it, Cincinnati falls on it, the Bengals get the ball back, they score the go-ahead touchdown 3 plays later.
That's blocked! And picked up by Cincinnati out across the 46.
On a kick play, the ball was touched by the receiving team beyond the line and then recovered by the kicking team. As soon as they recover the ball, it is dead. We ruled on the field, it's Cincinnati's ball, first down.
Burrow, sideline, Chase, spin. There he goes. Jamar Chase, touchdown Bengals.
So although this Dallas special teams player was just trying to make a play, the fact that he effed it up, people are teeing off on him these days.
They should.
As of this morning.
Dumb.
What do you mean they should? He was trying to make a play on the football.
No, you don't make a play.
But it bounced right to him.
You don't make a play.
It was right there in his hands.
It doesn't matter. You don't make a play.
It was right there.
The ball was yours regardless. Get away from it. It just was so dumb.
I hear you.
Dumb. And the best part of all that is, on the Manning cast, they had Chris Collinsworth on.
That was the best part about it?
A play, no. They asked him, how do you think the Bengals will win this game? And he says, I think Burrow will throw a touchdown pass to Jamar Chase. And the next play, he throws a touchdown pass.
That's not the boldest prediction in the world, is it?
And Collinsworth leaves the show. He, celebrates and says, I'm out, and walks out, and that was it.
Get over yourself.
Oh, it was good.
Anyway, so Dallas is awful.
So what you're saying is Joe Burrow saved the day.
Yeah.
And look great doing it.
Wow,
with his good looks.
Yes.
He saved the day with it. So, this poor kid on the Dallas Ball Club, he hates himself for blowing that particular play. I saw a couple write-ups where they compared him to Leon Lett.
Calm down.
And if you're younger, you don't get that. Now, here's what grabbed my attention from last night's game, because who could possibly care less about the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals? Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons. I guess in his mind, he's special because he walked off the field before the game was over. That's a douche move in my book.
This is up on 93x.com.
We've seen that before here? What do you mean, Randy Shaver?
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. Tell me the Randy Moss story.
I don't remember all the circumstances. I just remember Randy Moss walked off the field before the game was over.
Yeah, that's what douchebags do.
Did you guys watch that video, Parsons?
Yeah.
His face, he looked like he was going to cry.
Which video? You mean when he was on the sideline?
When he was sitting on the sideline watching the play, he looked like he was just ready to start bawling.
He looked like he didn't have any control over his emotions whatsoever. Like he was going to just completely
I think the
burst
loss
out
was
any second.
Giving up that touchdown pass late in that game just was I mean, the frustration of the entire season, because Dallas had a very slim window of possibly making the playoffs had they won that game last night and basically won out. And that loss last night just ended all that.
You know, you win as a team, you lose as a team. Yes, I understand this Micah Parsons is frustrated, but my God, keep your emotions in check, for Christ's sake. On the sideline, I mean, he was acting just so overly emotional about this thing. I mean, it's almost like he's showing up his teammates when you act like that, just with your hands in there. I can't believe what just happened. Calm down, dude. You're
really
showing
childish.
up. Well, and then to walk off the field without your teammates is a douche move. I mean, that's a dude trying, in my opinion, that's a dude trying to say he's different. His teammates are losers, but not him.
Well,
separating yourself from your teammates.
I kind of disagree with you. Earlier in the Manning cast, Randy.
Oh, now the Manning cast is now biblical stuff.
Well,
now.
But they were talking.
You watch one episode of the Manning cast. Now that's the answer to everything. Josh said
they were.
Don't do that bit. People believe that when you say that. It's the weirdest thing. You say something awful, and then you throw out a random name, and then people are like, "Hey, why would so and so say something like that?"
That's very true.
We're saying this stuff because Joe Buck would never say anything this insightful. But anyway, because he's up for a contract extension at the end of the year, and apparently he told a Dallas reporter that he would take less money to stay a Cowboy because he wanted to stay with the organization so badly. So I'm not so sure I buy into the "I'm a selfish guy"
I don't either.
narrative.
Well, then why does he walk off the field without his team and all the coaches?
I think it's just frustration.
And he walked off. I saw it too. He walked off the field with 4 seconds left. So
it's
it wasn't
a selfish move.
No.
It's a dick move. Don't make me tell you the Steve Lombardozzi story again. I know you guys only follow what the Mannings say. But
I'd like to see Dan Gladden go over to Micah Parsons' house and try to hit him.
I think Dan Gladden could win any fist fight he gets himself involved in. I'm not going to go against that. That's a douche move to walk out without your friggin' teammates.
I think that's the least of the whole story, though. I'm
not talking about the whole story. I'm talking about Micah Parsons, douche move.
Well, I think Micah Parsons is a great football player who's just absolutely frustrated with how this season has turned out for Dallas.
I'm sure you're right, Randy Shaver, but there's plenty of other great football players on the Dallas Cowboys, save your jokes, who stayed there with their team until the bitter end. Now, some of you might be saying, okay, what's the Steve Lombardozzi story? It's one of the greatest stories I've ever heard concerning any of our local ball clubs. I know Brad Ryder, I'm sure you're familiar with it, because I've told it a few times. And this was told to me by a very reliable source. It's a guy that I know you know, Brad Ryder, from your days working for the Twins. Mm-hmm. The story was many years ago, the Twins had a second baseman by the name of Steve Lombardozzi. For you younger people, he was part of the '87 World Series team. And there was a ball game at the Dome one day that did not go well. And Steve Lombardozzi went back to the clubhouse and got undressed before the game was all the way over. And that pissed a lot of people on the ball club off, including the left fielder at the time, Dan Gladden, who now calls Twins games. And Gladden was very vocal in the locker room about, you don't walk out until the game is over. You sit there with the rest of your teammates. We win as a team and lose as a team. And they had a little set to there in the clubhouse. Well, then I guess fast forward a day or two, this is the way the story was told to me, that Gladden was at home with his daughter or daughters, whatever the situation might have been, but he was playing dress-up with his daughter. He's little girl, they're doing the makeup and they're painting their fingernails. He's playing this game.
Pretty Princess.
Right, playing Pretty Princess with his daughter.
That.
And Steve Lombardozzi shows up at his door because he wants to fight over this argument they had in the clubhouse. And they fought like hell at the Gladden property. The story was told to me that they fought in the front yard and fought tooth and effing nail over this set two they had in the clubhouse. And the cops show up to ask him what the hell's going on, and there's Gladden with blush on his face and painted fingernails, which added a little extra mystery to what the hell was going on there. And the story closes out with the both of them, Lombardozzi and Gladden, beat to hell. They show up the next day at the Twins clubhouse for a ball game. Tom Kelly, the manager at the time, walks in, takes a look at both of them, beat the hell, and just says, I don't even want to know. That's just the way it was told to me. You win as a team, you lose as a team. Nobody walks out early. All right, here we go. I had a listener send me a picture here a minute or two ago.
Picture.
A sign they brought to Sunday's ball game there at the new Metrodome. By the way, Janel Klein, in your years in television, Randy Shaver, in your years in television, did you ever have anyone get so frustrated they walked out of a broadcast? It could have been off air. Obviously, if it was on air, a lot of us could probably remember it. But did you ever have like a situation where it was so frustrating and someone was so pissed off, they just said, I'm not sticking around, and they left, and you folks were left there to hold the bag, however the slogan goes?
We've had that.
I've had that happen too in radio.
That is crazy.
Randy Shaver, anyone ever walk out on the joint when you were trying to do a TV show?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay, Janel Klein?
I can't think of anything either, no.
Yeah, we've had a guy or two walk out on the radio show, haven't we, Josh?
Is this live?
I only remember once.
I think at the time.
This was live.
Oh, once it was live, and once I think we were in commercials, and they just
I forgot about the second. Both of them are pretty funny stories.
Yeah, but I can't remember the specifics.
So the first one was an old coworker of ours who I enjoyed, named Ross. I know you don't feel the same way.
Of course.
Both these stories involve Ross.
He's passed away now many years ago.
No, he's very much alive.
He's been dead for 5 or 6 years.
No, he's alive. He every day he would go to the snack machine, and he was a polite gentleman, and say, hey, does anybody want anything? Every day. And there's one particular guy who said no every single day for years.
When Ross would say, can I get you guys a snack, Josh and I consistently every day said, yes, I'll take a Twix bar and a can of root beer. We always said yes. Another guy always said no.
For years, he said no. So Ross was in a bit of a hurry. He asked us, and we're like, yeah, we'll take the usual. And he doesn't ask the other guy. Yeah. Well, when he came back, the other guy was so mad that he was overlooked. He took his headphones. We're in the middle of a break. Mm-hmm. We're talking. He threw his headphones and went to the snack machine and made a spite purchase.
Yeah. That's so pathetic.
He bought a bag of potato skins and an iced tea out of spite.
Which he had never done.
What a loser.
No.
It was the one and only time he didn't ask.
How friggin' sensitive can a person be?
And what, he just came back and ate it in front of Ross?
In front of all of us, because, again, we were on the air.
We're like,
we were laughing, thinking, is this for real?
Oh, my gosh, poor Ross.
And he was one of those guys, the guy that walked out, he's one of those guys that assumed in his own little delusional head that if he walked out, well, the show is going to come to a halt. When he came back, we were having a fine conversation. Everything was fine. But yeah, 600 consecutive times he said no to, do you need something from the snack machine? But the fact that he wasn't asked, the guy wet his pants like a 4-year-old and walked off. That was the one. What's the other one?
The other one was Ross. He got mad at you for some reason.
Oh God! This was good.
Off air.
Yeah, this was off air. Yeah,
and he tells you off.
Yeah,
and he just kicks the door open. And Ashley, weren't you like you were? Wait, maybe you weren't here. Maybe it was somebody else. Maybe it was Allie.
By the way, yeah, he was hollering at me.
Oh, he was going off on. I don't remember.
Oh,
why.
I don't remember that. Darn it, I must not have been here.
Just for the record, it's not that intimidating when a man's hollering at you and crying at the same time. It wasn't like, you son of a bitch, I'll kick your ass. It was kind of a thing.
Oh, man.
He's trembling like a child because he's crying so hard.
And so, yeah, he's yelling at you, and then he's kicking the door.
Yeah.
He goes next door. We're in 2 studios. He goes next door. He kicks that door open and says, I'm out of here. And then all of a sudden, like 30 seconds later, he sneaks in behind Nick because he forgot his car keys.
Yeah.
I would have went and hid.
And then he left and said, F you again to Nick. And Nick said, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yep. Yeah, he said when he grabbed his car keys, which just ruined the bit.
Yeah.
Anticlimactic at that point that he had to walk back in the room to get his car keys. But he said, I quit. He screamed it at me. I quit. And I thought I played it perfectly, Josh. I let that simmer for just 5 or 6 seconds. I didn't respond right away. I let it kind of simmer. And then I said, see you tomorrow.
Oh, I'm not even him, but that pisses me off.
Because I knew he'd be, of course, and he was back to me. I think he even came in early the next day. He wasn't quitting. He enjoyed the whole I'm a somebody, thing, part of radio way too much to ever quit. I knew he'd be there the next day. I quit. Kiss my ass. You're not going anywhere.
There was another time he left the air because he was getting a delivery of a dryer and a washer.
Oh, washer.
Yeah.
We were just hollering at Ashley the other day about when she walked out on the program. Well, we weren't hollering at her. We talked very maturely about it yesterday or the day before off air. We're friggin' live on the radio, and suddenly Ashley is gone. And, I mean, really, I was legitimately mad about this. And then when I asked somebody, where the hell did Ashley go? Oh, she went to let the front desk lady in because the front desk lady forgot her key to the building. F the front desk lady. We got a freaking show to do here.
I didn't even think of that. I just thought, oh, yeah, I'll let her in. I'll be nice. I'll be a nice person.
You're not the maintenance worker here or what? You don't have to let people in the...
There are quite a few people, I guess, she could have texted besides me.
I forgot there was another time with Ross he had to take a call on air, and we thought, oh, no, something must have happened. But
yeah.
What it was is they rescheduled the time he had to pick out chandeliers.
Oh, yeah.
So he had to leave to go pick out a chandelier.
Pick out a chandelier.
Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, the designer, they need to meet right now. I got to go.
Typical trust fund, baby.
I miss that drama.
God rest his soul.
I do, too.
I thought you guys were going to bring up the time that he missed work because a storm hit his cabin.
I'm not going to do this all day, Janel. I love you dearly, but I'm not going to do this all day.
That was a good one, though, Janel.
And also, and how it was really his neighbor's property that was affected. And he mentioned there was trees down everywhere. He called it a war zone. He said a tree. And then he eventually made it seem like trees fell on his cabin and was destroyed. But instead, it was just leaning up against like a pole barn. Did no damage. It's okay, dude. Just take a day off of work. That's all you got to do. Just say, I'm not feeling it today.
All right. Even though I hate it, I gotta play along. I gotta include a story here. Josh, I know this is one of your favorites too. Dude, whose name that I don't say out loud because he walked out on us, and then he died.
I just saw him recently.
He was one of the guys, one of quite a few people we've worked with over the years, Josh, who was always expecting, that the boss is just going to walk up every day and tell him how wonderful he is. That the boss is just going to approach him and say, hey, I probably should give you some more money, huh? And we used to always tell him, that's never going to happen. If you want the boss's attention, go talk to the boss yourself, like a freaking adult. If you got a problem, you go talk to the boss. But he always would wait around. Well, I don't know why the boss doesn't tell me how awesome I am. Well, I don't know why the boss doesn't give me more money. Because he doesn't know who you are. You never go talk to the guy. You're too afraid to. So he was always looking for more attention from the boss. And then one day, which just so happened to be the day that Metallica was in town for a concert, the boss approaches the name that I won't say out loud and says, hey, man, I could use a favor. We got this and that going on at the Metallica concert. I could use a guy to come in tomorrow morning extra early and do this or that with the board, whatever. The boss needed a favor and said, can you come in extra early tomorrow morning?
I remember what it was.
And do this or that. You go ahead.
It was a Toys for Tatas. And so
I thought it was a Metallica.
No, it was a Toys for Tatas broadcast. And so, Rick's is what, 10 minutes from here?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so he had said, hey, can you come in and grab a commercial log and then just bring it to Toys for Tatas, the broadcast?
Easy.
And he said, nah, it's kind of out of my way. He wouldn't do it.
Oh, I'm crossing up.
Maybe there's another one you're thinking of. That's the specific one where the boss asked him a direct favor. Could you just grab that on your way?
And he said it was out of his way. The one I was thinking of was when he was asked to come in early for something, and he said no. And the boss was kind of dumbfounded and said, well, why? Oh, well, because Metallica's in town tonight, and I'm probably going to get pretty wasted.
Oh, my God.
Do you remember that one, Josh?
Yeah.
And we said, and so then the boss says, okay, I'll find someone else, and walks out, and we said, what the hell's the matter with you? All you do is whine about wanting to be, a better relationship with the boss? He asks you a favor and you say no, and your reason is because you're gonna get wasted?
No.
All right, I don't want to do this anymore. It's my fault. It's partially my fault.
It was fun.
Well, I've told you before, I mean, if this building were it was full of people who were completely normal, got the job done, and nothing ever went wrong, it wouldn't be fun at all.
No.
This kind of stuff is a blast.
It's a good point. All right, so the way I started here a minute ago, a listener texted or sent in a picture of a sign that they supposedly brought to Sunday's ball game there where the Vikings played the by-damn Atlanta Falcons, okay? Featuring former Viking quarterback, Captain Death Rocks, Curtis Cousins. So this is supposedly a sign that a listener brought to the game, and the sign, and he said security took it away from him. The sign says, "Roses are red, weed is greener. Cousins thinks of money when he plays with his wiener."
Why'd they take the sign?
That's great. Come on. Creative.
I like that.
Let's see if I had that right. Yeah, roses are red, weed is greener. Cousins thinks of money when he plays with his wiener.
That's a good one. There's no swearing.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's very poetic.
Took some very introspective rhyming to get to that point. But
Play a little fast and loose with the rhyming rules.
yeah.
We heard all the drunks at Sunday's ball game dumping MVP chants at Sam Darnold. So yesterday I read an article from NBC Sports, and the title is Why Not Sam Darnold for MVP? And they bust out all the stats and this and that. And they compare him to Jared Goff, who is considered an MVP candidate, where I think right now Sam Darnold really is not considered.
No.
And they say they're comparable. Some stats, Darnold is even doing better than Jared. And they go this way and they go that way. And they bring up Josh Allen and they bring up Saquon.
Josh Allen's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, he should.
As he should.
Fair enough.
Josh Allen.
What do you mean, as he should? What the?
He's so amazing to watch.
You don't know Dick Tracy about Josh Allen.
Every time I watch him play, I'm just in awe. I'm like, what is this dude doing out here?
He doesn't do anything.
It's just him and himself making the plays.
Dana, do you mind sharing the targeted ad you showed me at our Christmas party on Friday?
Oh, yeah.
Dana, obviously the biggest Buffalo Bills fan, certainly in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at nothing but Buffalo Bills stuff. He's obsessed with the team. And so now the internet has figured it out, and they keep sending you ads related to the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm. The one I showed you, Josh, and I can say this one on the air. I've gotten some other ones that I cannot say on the air that people have actually sent me. But this one I showed everybody at the Christmas party, the targeted ad that popped up on the internet. It was a Buffalo Bills blue shirt, and it said, "My ideal body weight is Josh Allen on top of me."
I've almost gotten you that shirt so many times.
Oh, you've seen it before?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that by proxy you're getting those ads too, Ashley.
Oh, yeah. Dana, I'm actually one of the good things about not sitting in the studio with you and Wapple anymore is that I don't get targeted ads for Shorzy and the Buffalo Bills.
Because your phone's not listening to that.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is a loser.
Oh, he's
If the Vikings happen to win out and get the number one seed, then I think maybe you can have a legitimate conversation that Darnold should get it over Allen.
I don't think that'll even happen.
I don't think it'll happen. I'm just saying if it does happen.
No, I'm just saying I just don't think he's got the cred like Josh Allen does. I just don't. He's having a great year. There's no doubt about it. He's done some amazing things. I think there's probably some people that also would say it's O'Connell, it's the system, it's not necessarily always Sam Darnold, but Josh Allen's just a different beast, a different beast.
We were peppered with these text messages yesterday, and I didn't bring it up because I just, it's an old bit, and I'm not trying to be insulting to anyone, but plenty of people sent us pictures of a fan or two at Sunday's game holding the sign that says, "We'll never forget you, Kurt."
They sell a T-shirt that says that.
Directed towards Kirk Cousins. But I just didn't think that was worth mentioning since that bit is 20 years old. That's what the Packer fans did with Brett Favre. "We'll never forget you, Brent." Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to everyone I'm bringing it up now. I'm sorry I didn't bring it up yesterday. I just didn't think it was notable because it's an old bit, and now I feel terrible. Did you guys know that, what's his name again, the quarterback for the Vikings right now?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
During that game Sunday, he became the first Viking quarterback since Dante Culpepper in 2004 to throw for 5 touchdown passes in one game. Ski.
Is that really crazy? It doesn't really.
5 is a lot of touchdowns.
It is okay when you.
Unless you're Josh Allen.
It didn't
it's very
seem that
difficult.
insane to me, but okay.
If Jared Goff wins another football game as starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions, back to Jared Goff. Okay, well, what do they got going so far? It's their first 11-win season. Okay, this is the Lions' first 11-win season, I believe, or first 12 wins.
12, yeah, they're 12-1.
If he wins one more, that would give him 2 13-plus win seasons with 2 different teams, the Lions. And at one point, he played for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Only Tom Brady and Peyton Manning have 13-plus win seasons with different teams. So I guess feel free to suck on that if you like. 13 win seasons with 2 different teams. Cameron Bynum, Vikings defensive back. We talked about him yesterday. He's hoping his latest silly interception celebration will land him an appearance on The Masked Singer.
Anything like that, Masked Singer, any of those funny TV shows or anything that I can possibly get on, that'd be a dream, just to be able to go out there and have fun and just, like I said, enjoy the time and actually do something that takes some skill, like all these dances and everything, and learning something at the same time. That's a dream of mine.
There he is right there. He wants to be on The Masked Singer or possibly, what's the other show called? Dancing with the Stars.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He
recreated, if you missed it, he and a few other guys on the Vikings recreated the dance-off scene from a movie called, you weren't here yesterday, Janel Klein. Have you seen the movie White Chicks?
Have you seen any movie?
No.
He and Josh Metellus recreated the dance-off scene from a movie called White Chicks after they picked off Kirk Cousins. And now he wants to go on those television shows. Yeah, it's cute.
It was funny in that interview, too, later on, he said that him and Metellus, they had that dance kind of in their pocket for a while. And when one of them got the interception, they were going to do it. And they got it in early on in the game. And he said he was actually nervous for the rest of the game because they didn't have a second dance prepared. So he says, what if we get another interception and we don't have anything ready to go yet? Like that was actually a thought going through his mind during an NFL game.
Cute.
You guys watch any of these television shows? Josh, do you watch Dancing with the Stars or The Masked Singer?
No, I haven't. I've watched, like, if they say, hey, the Beatles was, let's say, Sebastian Bach of Skid Row, right? Where they, and I'll watch that, but I've never actually watched the show. Just kind of a highlight.
Yeah. How about some more quarterback stuff here? The Bears quarterback, Caleb Woolham, that's who the Vikings will be playing next. He's taking a lot of sacks this season and losing a lot of yardage. And he may finish the season with more sacks and yards lost than any quarterback in NFL history. Through 13 games, he's been sacked 56 times. That's 15 more than any other quarterback this season. He's lost 377 yards on sacks. That's 50 more than any other quarterback this season. That's pretty bad. So it's a historical pace. With 4 games to go, he's on pace to set the record for most sacks and most yards lost.
Well, that's not really so much on him as it is on his offensive line.
Well, sure, but it's the quarterback, so you're going to get all the blame and all the praise.
Yeah. And he's probably not going to. He's a rookie. He's not going to stay in the pocket as long as some other guys either. He, brings some of that on himself.
The NFL record for time sacked in a season is 76. David Carr.
David Carr was crushed
when he was playing with the expansion Houston Texans in 2002. He got sat on his ass 76 times.
Yes.
The NFL record for yards lost on sacks is 489, set by Randall Cunningham in 1986 when he was playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I would guess the reason Randall Cunningham lost a lot of yards on sacks is he would run 35 yards backwards to try to make a play.
Yeah.
And eventually they'd get his ass.
Keep reading that the Vikings defensive coordinator, we may lose him possibly to the Bears after the season. He's on their short list.
No, he doesn't know what he's doing anyway.
Oh, okay.
The Vikings defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
He doesn't know what he's doing. Whenever I hear about quarterbacks getting sacked, Randy Shaver, go ahead. What comes to mind? Like Archie Manning, yeah.
I was starting to think of a way to say, and a quarterback who nearly lost his life being sacked would be Archie Manning.
If you're too young, the 1984, I believe, Vikings season, Eli and Peyton's dad, Archie, started a lot of games that season for the Vikings, and they were terrible, and he got his ass whooped. So I always expect to see his name.
By the Bears. He was sacked 11 times by the Bears in one game.
I always expect to see his name at the top of those record books.
Yep.
Archie's lucky he lived through that football season. And this was back when you could pick a quarterback up by his neck. And you could deliver a choke slam, Abigail's kiss, whatever. You could do any illegal wrestling move on a...
Not only that, but he played in the era of concrete AstroTurf.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did I get that? Wasn't that Bray Wyatt's finishing move? Wasn't it called Abigail's Kiss?
Sister Abigail.
Sister Abigail. The Man Bear Pigs are playing at Utah for, I believe, the very first time tonight. They're playing at Utah.
I think it's on TV tonight, too. It's a national game.
What says here, ESPN Plus and Hulu. What does that mean to me?
Well, would be a national game.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Utah hockey team. Game time is at 8:30. Injuries piling up again. Brodeen, Eriksson, Ek, Zuccarello. Not going to be ready to play. There's a fun video going around for you hockey fans. OHL, Ontario Hockey League players, got into a little scrap while being showered with stuffed animals during the teddy bear toss.
This is up on 93x.com.
It's a cute gimmick. Janel Klein, are you aware of the teddy bear toss?
I was just thinking that. I don't know what it is.
They've been doing this for many, many years. In 1993, the Kamloops Blazers of Canada's Western Hockey League dreamed up the teddy bear toss, where fans come to the rink for a hockey game. They bring toys, stuffed animals to donate, and they throw them on the ice when the home team scores their first goal. And it's been a fun, cool event. I mean, my God, the amount of toys and bears and whatever that are donated at these different Canadian rinks is just off the charts. So the Ottawa 67s were playing the other night against some other team who gives a rat's ass. But Ottawa gets on the board with a goal. The crowd throws the bears, stuffed animals and such on the ice, but the players got into a little bit of a scrappy scrap, choking each other out and face washing each other up and down. So it's kind of a funny scene. And like Ashley said, you can see it on our website, guys pairing off and slapping each other in the mouth while being clunked over the head with teddy bears.
There's like the strobe lighting. The strobe lighting really adds to it.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it just last week someone got an unsportsmanlike penalty because they were firing the teddy bears back into the crowd?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of silly that this kid needed
He wasn't doing it out of anger.
No, he was trying to be cute.
Yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, it was kind of stupid he got punished.
Yeah, it was dumb. The Ottawa 67s. You know who played for the Ottawa 67s back in the day?
Oh, we all know.
My effing hero, Bobby Smith. He didn't stick around long, though, because he was too damn good. In 1977-78, Janel Klein, I know you've been waiting on this, Bobby Smith had more goals and more points than a guy named Wayne Gretzky, okay? In 77-78, playing for the Ottawa 67s, Bobby Smith had more points and more goals than Wayne Gretzky. So there's something else you can suck on this morning. Josh said.
No, that's not the bit.
You don't like that bit?
No, because what happens is you start to feel guilty about something you said, and then you put it on somebody else, and then people go, oh, my gosh, I can't believe Josh would say such a thing.
It has nothing to do with guilt. I just like to aggravate. But you're right, Josh. People do fall for that bit. Earlier this morning, I said... ketchup is for sissies, Dana said. And I got a text from someone saying, does Dana got a friggin' problem?
Yeah, it happens every time. It happens every single time.
Golden Gopher men's basketball got pumped playing last night at the University of Indiana. 82-67 was your final.
We missed a couple of things yesterday. We missed the Hall of Fame for Dave Parker and for Richie Allen.
Your perfect opportunity to bring it up when I just started a conversation about college basketball, Randy Shaver.
Sorry.
You have great timing. Your timing
I just want to make sure we mention it just because those two guys have waited so long. And, of course, Dick Allen is no longer here, passed away in 2020. And Dave Parker has Parkinson's disease. And so he is... not in the greatest health either. But
the Cobra.
Yeah. I just looked it up this morning, and I know, Nick, you remember, 1979 at the All-Star game in Seattle, Dave Parker threw out 2 base runners in the All-Star game. He threw out Jim Rice and Brian Downing. And one of the plays, the play that he threw out Jim Rice at third base, he lost the... I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Kingdome. I have.
No.
It was like the Metrodome. Terrible. Parker lost the ball on the roof. The ball bounces for a base hit for like a double. But Jim Rice tries to extend the play to third base, and Parker just guns him down at third base. Dave Parker was such a great player.
Yeah.
Did so many things at the plate. I think he's more remembered for what he did at the plate, but had a cannon for an arm. Just a great player. And, of course, Richie Allen was one of those guys where, at least when I was growing up, he was the bad boy. There weren't that many bad boys necessarily in sports.
No.
And Richie Allen, he had the cigarette hanging out of his mouth in the dugout. Those kind of guys. So those two guys did.
Maybe Joe Namath was a bad boy back then.
There were plenty of bad boys, but it just wasn't reported on because we didn't have social media back then.
Yes, we did.
But these two guys get in the same way that Oliva and Cott got in. They got in through the Veterans Committee. So,
I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah, we missed that yesterday. We had lots going on. But you know what comes to mind when I picture Dave Parker? How, years ago, nowadays, people don't really get too pissy about this anymore. But there was a stretch of time when the slow home run trot was thought of as really disrespectful. People have gotten over it. Many years have gone by. Now a bat flip might be what folks focus on nowadays. Oh, God, that was a disrespectful bat flip. Dave Parker was the innovator of the long-ass home run trot.
Yeah.
Was he not the first guy to do it?
And that's exactly the way they described it, too. It was the trot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He did. He took his time. That's for sure.
God dang. All right. We got to get going. Real quick, the NBA fined Anthony Edwards $25,000 for swearing on television. This was Friday night after the Wolves beat Golden State. I had turned my television off. I missed this, but I guess he cursed up and down. And then Sunday when they lost, he avoided the media because he doesn't want to get fined again.
I think he'll leave
play better. I got to find my teammates when they put 3-4 on defense. It's terrible by me.
Now, what was that now?
That was him swearing.
That's what he got fined for?
Yeah, I don't know if he should have known there was a camera going or what, but he was kind of talking to other people in the locker room.
Well, there you go. Boy, he's racking up some fines this year. That's fun. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've said it before. I don't know why can't these guys keep their F-bombs under control?
It's not that hard.
If we got to do it, they should have to do it.
I don't think they care.
I don't want any more swearing on television.
I wouldn't go that far.
Because I want to do it so badly.
I know. That would be cool if us individually, for every F word, it was like $50 or so.
Dude. You know how we are off air, man.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Off air, it's disgusting.
Well, $25,000 fine for them is about like $10 for you. So.
Yes, that's why I said 50. I was trying to change that. Yeah.
I don't know. He just can't stop with the. How do you keep it clean, Janelle?
Who says I do?
I've heard you curse a couple times.
It's kind of shocking.
I get excited when you curse. Yeah.
You know what?
What?
It's interesting. You and your close friend C. Willie Miles.
Yeah.
You are two difficult people to catch swearing. You really are.
I don't do it very often.
No.
I don't know that I've ever heard him swear.
It's C. Willie almost never swears, although when did we have him in last? What day is it today? Tuesday or something? Mm-hmm. We had him in last week. Josh, did you notice it? He F-bombed off air.
He did.
He almost never... So you two are kind of a...
I think that's the first time I've ever heard him cuss whatsoever.
What was he saying? What was he... Why?
Talking about you.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but he was passionate about something, and he said the F word.
He was doing a bit, so he wasn't like out of anger or anything. But it was pretty funny.
Good for you guys. Good for you guys.
My older kids, they count them if I'm like somewhere, because I rarely do I swear, certainly around them. But yeah, so sometimes...
Even the grown kids?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just never have, right? And so, like, if we're on a booze cruise or something like that, and if I throw them out, they'll stand there, and then they'll go, 1, 2.
Really?
They'll count the F words. So I never got higher than 4.
It is an event when you cuss in front of
in front of them, yeah.
My dad.
They love it. They love it.
Clean living, Cubby.
Yep.
What's it like?
It's kind of not cool.
It's got its moments.
Nobody thinks it's very cool.
It is cool. It is cool to be a good person. We got to get the hell out of here. Thanks, Randy and Brad.
Okay.
You bet.
All right, more with Jungle Jane when we come back.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with AutoQuote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hear that? That's the sound of saving money with EasyPass. Free transponders plus lower tolls make EasyPass the perfect holiday gift. Visit driveeasymd.com to get yours today.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
We've made her all the way to 8:32 here. Welcome back to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Janel Klein is all up in studio. Thank you for swinging by again, Janel.
Always happy to be here.
Ain't this something when Jungle Jane swings by? What do we got going now? There are a couple different things going on Saturday night that I thought we could toss into the mix. First off, if you're out in the West Dam Metro, that's the most beautiful part of the world. If you're out in the West Metro Saturday night, you can be a part of a good cause. Swing by the Stanchion Bar in Corcoran for their Toys for Tatas fundraiser Saturday night. If you can, by damn, if you please, we'd really appreciate it. They're good people out that way, and a few of us are going to be there to help out. We're going to take a crack at bartending again.
The same event that you got yelled at last time.
I was terrible. I had it coming. I was a terrible bartender.
Have you learned since then? Do you think you're not going to make the same mistakes?
No, I will make all of the same mistakes because that's the last time I bartended was when we were lucky enough to be invited to this event. Last year, I sucked back there. I had no experience, no prior experience.
Well, how do you remember all that? That's tough.
It is tough.
And you're working so fast-paced, and then somebody names a drink that you've never heard of.
Yeah. A dude had to holler. What was it again? There was a specific kind of hooch. He had to holler it 5 or 6 times.
It was a seltzer, I think. It was something simple like a high noon.
It was. There were 2 separate incidents where it was so loud in there, and I mean, it's a popular event. This event at the Stanchion, it's going to be packed in there.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 specific times where I just had to shrug my shoulders and say, dude, I have no idea what you're saying to me. One of them was one of those fancy schmancy seltzers. I'd never heard it before because, as you guys know, I'm strictly a beer guy. I don't know dick about hard liquor.
It was neutral, I believe.
That was
seltzer.
That was the seltzer.
Yes.
Where the guy's like, give me a neutral. I'm like, a what? The other was like a fancier bourbon. And I could not understand because I'd never heard it. So, I got it. The dude wanted it. He wanted 5 Don Julios.
Yep.
Oh, tequila.
And I said, I don't know at all what that means. First off, I couldn't make out what he was. At any rate,
sir, this is not that kind of place. We're not going to hand that out.
Special guest bartenders will be working all night at the Stanchion. So the gimmick is stop by, grab a cold one. The money's gathered up while we're bartending will go towards the Stanchion's Toys for Tots fundraiser. I didn't accidentally say Toys for Tatas.
Earlier you did.
I figured I would. Yeah. I figured I would. Not Toys for Tatas, just Toys for Tots. I knew I would make that mistake. The money gathered up while we're bartending. So feel free to tip like a sumbitch because it's going to the Stanchion's Toys for Tots fundraiser. It is kind of a competition, although I don't look at it that way. I don't think the rest of us look at it that way. But there'll be like 3 or 4 separate groups, guest bartending, and if you really like those people, show up, get a drink, and throw some money at the event. Here's who I've been told is involved in our specific group. And you can catch us, but we encourage you to be there all night. Contribute to anybody. We don't care.
Yeah, 6 p.m. to midnight is the whole ordeal.
Yeah. Whoever else is showing up, contribute to their kitty as well. It all goes to the same place. If we win, great. If we don't, that's okay. What we're told is we will be there from 7:30 to 9 p.m. That's when we will be guest bartending. I just hope to survive. I really do. I just hope to survive.
You'll be all right.
Because I was cooked when it was over, emotionally, physically, everything last year. From what I'm told, our group features Ashley over here. Say hello into the microphone, Ashley.
Hello, everybody.
Janel Klein.
Hello.
I will be there, and we're being joined also. These are our fellow teammates, and I have a lot of confidence that these two can raise some money and sling some hooch. I'm going to mouth off to anybody I want at the bar, because you know who's on our team?
Dude.
Former North Star Jack Carlson.
Sweet.
Are you kidding me?
This is cool.
I'm going to be a dick all night long because Jack is on the same team. And also Laura Shera.
That's great.
Oh, she's awesome.
From, what's the name of the program? Minnesota Outdoors Showdown Festival 2.0. You know what I'm talking about. Laura Shera. She's a great gal. I got familiar with her a number of years ago. And one of my oldest buddies works with her on television, Bill Shirk. Bill Shirk and I went from kindergarten all the way through high school together. I'm sorry I can't think of the specific name of Laura Shera's television.
Minnesota Bound.
Minnesota Bound. Thank you, Wapple. She's going to be there. She is one cool lady. I think we got a great crowd for this, a great team for this. What do you think, Janel Klein?
I absolutely agree, and I want to clarify. You say that you got cooked, but you were really good at pouring beer.
Pouring beer?
Well, I mean, like in the tap.
Oh, in the tap. Okay.
Pretty good at that, yeah.
You've been to a keg party or two.
Yes.
You know what, Janelle? I agree, but you should see him drinking beer. That is something else.
Goes even faster.
Janelle, I appreciate that very much, you bringing that up. That was the only facet of bartending that I had any kind of an idea on, and that was pouring a tap beer. One of you asked me to show you. I can't remember what was it. You?
I'm terrible at all of it, but you were really good. You're really
you're
good
not,
at
Janelle.
it. No, I mean, so here's my plan, Nick. I don't know how you were handling it last year because we didn't get to work together that closely, but I just realized I have no game and I just get an order from someone, and I go straight to Ashley.
You go straight to Ashley for
And I
what?
go,
She has
Ashley,
the experience.
Correct. I'll go,
I got you,
Ashley,
Janelle.
I need 2 gin
Okay.
and tonics and a vodka diet or whatever, and then she carries out the order, and then I bring it back.
You know what?
That worked great
do
last year.
Do whatever you got to do, Janelle, because it really is. The bar is so packed,
It's so packed.
and the folks who are coming up to order drinks, we want to go through them as fast as possible. The more drinks that are purchased, the more money goes to Toys for Tots.
Right.
I would love to sit here and compliment or critique either of your performances last year, but I'm so overwhelmed with what the hell I got going on. You two could have been stark naked doing cartwheels behind me, and I wouldn't have noticed, because it's just, what do you need? What do you got? It's crazy, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Ashley is unreal. Like, you want to see someone that can run a bar.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
her.
that.
That's
I really
her.
do. But I will say, like Josh said, I do have experience because I was a bartender. I have never seen a bar that busy. That it is insane there.
Yeah, and I had a handful of friends come by. It's a great event. We really enjoyed ourselves last year at the stanchion for their Toys for Tots fundraiser. Matter of fact, while we were behind the bar last year, 2 more of my high school friends popped open the door, looked at the crowd, and just mouthed this at me. They went, "Nope." I mean, that's how packed it is. So, again, 6 to midnight is the whole event. We, meaning myself, Janelle, Ashley, Jack Carlson, and Laura Shera, our team will be behind the bar from 7:30 to 9. And, we encourage you to swing by because it's all for a good cause. And a cool joint, and right down the road from my house. Ooh, I love it when events are right down the road from my house.
Lucky.
I know the rest of you are coming from godforsaken places like Coon Rapids and Minneapolis.
We can just crash at your place after, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I can be there in 5 minutes, and it's a beautiful thing. So thank you, and we'll bother you some more about this as we get closer to Saturday. I just hope to survive and not embarrass myself too terribly. I got to remember, Don Julio is a thing. And give it to me again.
Neutral.
Neutral is a specific canned. Here's what else I wanted to bring up as far as Saturday night goes. Boy, Josh, we used to be involved with this group quite thoroughly. There's also a roller derby show Saturday night. I was just reading about this, just reading sports stuff. There's a roller derby show Saturday night at the Dominique Wilkins Auditorium over there. And the reason I wanted to bring it up, and speaking of Ashley, have you ever considered, you run a little hot.
Yeah.
You don't mind some physicality.
Not at all.
Have you ever considered roller derby?
No, I haven't.
I can see you being like this little spark plug type character, because like I said, Josh and I used to go to the roller derby shows. We had the athletes in studio all the time back in the day. I could see you being this little spark plug type character that would drive an elbow into a gal's throat, and then whatever you do in however you score points, you would go down the.
I would have so much fun doing that. I've always thought it was really cool, but
Can you roller skate?
So I can roller skate. I can ice skate, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not really fantastic about it. Yeah, I'm not very good at stopping.
Oh, well, you
just crash into someone.
Throw all your weight into.
Are you allowed to just like chuck them to the ground?
Yeah.
That is so cool. That sounds like fun.
And Ashley, too, I could picture you being the type of roller derby competitor that has a couple beers before each game, too.
Oh, 100%. Isn't that the whole point?
Oh, God, I bet they all do. So that's just something that crossed my mind. So I wonder, Josh, if maybe they'd ever let an amateur step in and compete. And then when I had that thought, I also thought, I wonder if that's not a good idea for Ashley, because, kind of like the experience that Josh and I had in our demolition derby career, where they don't like the amateurs coming in for a show or two. We got our asses kicked when we tried Demolition Derby years ago. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to show up and we're like encouraging you to be the...
Yeah.
And then the girls just stomp a mud hole in you for...
Another problem I would have is leaving it on the rink.
Oh, you carry on into the locker room?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to let that
Take
stuff
it
go.
into the locker room.
I'd have to have a talk afterwards.
My
yeah.
brother and my buddy Mac, when we played beer league hockey, they were notorious for bringing whatever happened on the ice over to the locker room afterwards. Walking into the opposite club's locker room.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's fun.
You might actually do pretty well. I mean, I guess I don't know all the skills you'd have to have, but you should go to one and see.
Yeah, I'm interested
Because the season just started, so you got a few opportunities here.
I hope it doesn't turn out the way it turned out for Cubby and I, where we thought, hey, yay, we're going to try Demolition Derby.
We were so honored to be asked, and we were so looking forward to it.
Until we got eyeballed by the drivers when we walked in. They did not want us there.
Oh, that's scary.
Of course, we're just there to promote the radio station. It's stupid, right? But we had, the 93X guys are going to be here. Like anybody cares. And they just, I took a lick to the noggin where I really do think it took 3.5 years off of my life span.
My car never even started.
I was just going to say, didn't they give you guys the worst cars possible?
One time they gave us broken cars and we never even got out onto the track.
I broke the stick indicating I'm out. I think that made me a bigger target. They're like, let's get the radio guys first.
Now, what are you going to do? Right. It's not like you're going to show up at the next race and what's the word I'm looking for? Get some revenge. No, the world. Unfortunately, there were other times where our cars did run.
That made it worse.
Oh, I wish I could have seen this.
And I tried my damnedest, but they destroyed me. And all I would see was just an evil set of eyes in that helmet. You know what I mean? And you can't see the face, and you see that evil set of eyes. And I could tell those eyes were saying, don't ever come back, dickhead.
Maybe you could join the mall rats, M-A-U-L rats.
Oh, that's sweet.
I remember they all had really cool, kind of dark, intimidating rock star names, the teams and the gals.
I was here when we had, the last time we had the roller derby girls in, and they seemed really cool, too.
Oh, they were awesome. They're
really
great.
Friendly.
Till they dump an elbow on your thorax, Janel Klein, are you built for the roller derby show?
Oh, my God. All I think every time when you guys talk about this is like, if anything like that ever happened, I would call Ashley. So like if a fight breaks out at the bar on Saturday, I'm so glad she's there.
I love you, Janelle. I always have your back.
She would totally protect us, Nick.
I think she's the type, yeah, absolutely. So you don't know if you can stop. Well, they'll work on that with you.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too
hard.
hard.
You can roller
to learn,
skate,
right?
but you don't know if you can stop.
It's scary to trust that little back brake on your rollerblades.
Yeah, well, I suppose the back brake. I haven't had a pair of roller skates on my feet since about 1983. I think we used to go there in grade school, but I got used to riding around on the rollerblade. Wait, did they wear rollers?
They wear roller skates.
They wear roller skates. Yeah, they don't wear roller blades.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah, so anyway. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of, on our beer league softball team, we needed a guy, and a guy showed up, and he was not an athlete, and he said, I can't throw and I can't hit, but I'm pretty sure I can catch. So, everyone's going to be good and bad at certain things.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Jesus. Look at the time. We got to get going again. It's been a fabulous day. You know how it is, Janel Klein, don't you?
I so know how it is.
All good things must come to an end. You also know this. Internet challenges. That's all the young people do now. They commit themselves to do the latest whack-ass social media internet challenge, don't they? They do. Some live to tell the tale. Others are not so lucky. Do you want to hear about a December challenge? Okay, we're a few days into December, but I think it's close enough. A December challenge that I found on that godless, soulless, evil social media. Tell me if you think you can handle all this. Okay. Throughout the month of December, this is what the social media person says. I challenge you to try this. No porn, no alcohol, 3 to 6 eggs a day. Is everything okay over there?
No,
somehow that cracked you up.
Well, I just don't. The 3 to 6 eggs was not like the first 2 on the list. You know? It kind of threw me.
All right. Are you writing this stuff down, Ashley, Janelle, to see if you could? Okay. No porn, month of December. No alcohol. 3 to 6 eggs a day. 3 liters of water. 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Cut out all your distractions. And hook up with a cousin.
Whoa.
No.
That last one isn't on there.
What do you think, Josh?
I could do all except the sleep. 7 to 8 hours seems like a lot.
That's 2 days worth at least.
That is a lot of sleep, yeah.
What are they talking about? 7 to 8 hours of sleep, he said.
Does it have to be straight? Can we do half during the day for a nap, half at night? Does that work?
That's insane, Josh says. That's disgusting, 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody can do that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the sleep and the booze is going to cancel me out already.
21 days left in the month. I'm going to try it.
What does that mean, cut out distractions?
I don't know.
That's
it's
so weird.
They were just leading up to the cousin joke.
Yeah.
That's all that was, Janel Klein.
It has to be.
I bet it's like a lot of TikTok videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, doom scrolling.
I really like that
Work is a
bit.
distraction. It gets in the way of your social life.
Exactly. There's a lot of distractions.
I really like the way that one played out. All right. Be careful driving, Janel Klein, when you get out of here.
Please do.
Is it slick?
No.
Oh.
I'm just...
he thinks you're a bad driver.
I just think you're a terrible driver.
Yeah.
No, the reason I bring that up, are you listening to Christmas songs in the car?
Not on the reg. Like
I'm sorry, not what?
Not on the reg.
I've never heard you attempt to be so hip.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was so cute.
I liked it. Normally you're just so, on the level, and then you got kind of you took it to street level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keeping you on your toes.
Yeah.
I'll just scroll through it, but I don't go overboard.
Okay. Well, for any of you, Josh, you listen to, what do you call it, Christmas music in the car. I bet it's nonstop right now for you.
Well, I listen to audiobooks in the car, but if somebody else is with me, I'll definitely have Christmas music on. Or like yesterday, I was doing some stuff around the house, and I put on Christmas music.
Do you sing along?
No, I'm not much of a singer.
Okay.
I dance, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
I bet you whistle.
Provocatively. I do whistle a lot.
Oh, he is whistling away, Waffle.
I love to whistle.
Frosty the Snowman is the most dangerous Christmas song to drive to. It'll kill you dead. You're going to die, and you're going to die ugly. Yes, your vehicle's rolling, glass is breaking, you feel the skin being ripped off. Oh, God, this is it. I'm going to the next level. What do they call it? I'm going to be walking into the light. I'm going to die. And the song, the last thing you hear, Frosty, the F me running sideways snowman.
It's like Talladega Nights. I'm flying through the air right now. All right.
Frosty the Snowman will kill you as soon as it looks at you. That's according to some kind of new bizarre report. Songs with over 120 beats per minute can lead to dangerous driving habits.
There are songs where your accelerator foot gets heavier.
Yes.
Yep.
But as far as Christmas song goes, don't be playing Frosty in the car, because that sumbitch, it's at 172 beats per minute, and that's dangerous.
Too many beats.
That is dangerous. Specifically the one where Gene Autry sings it. Is that the one you had there for us, Josh? Mm-hmm. Gene Autry?
Mariah Carey was second on the list with All I Want for Christmas Is You at 150 BPM. It's more dangerous to go to one of her concerts recently. There's been 2 fights at 2 of her recent shows. People are fighting at Mariah Carey concerts.
That doesn't seem right.
Are they Christmas concerts?
I know she's performing that song, certainly. I don't know what the whole set list is.
People are beating each other into next week at the...
Mariah, I would think you'd be safe at a Mariah Carey show.
No, Always Be My Baby is the best Mariah song. Boom!
So be careful out there, all you Christmas song-loving sumbitches. If you're going to drive around in the car, avoid Frosty. I guess avoid Mariah Carey, too, if you can. But you're right, it applies to all kinds of music. You've got a story about you got pulled over speeding because you were cranking Maiden.
Yeah, I was cranking Maiden, and I got pulled over by a Minneapolis cop. And at the time, I was a young man. I had a lot of speeding tickets. For whatever reason, I just didn't care. I had a lot of them. And he
you had places to be.
No, I actually didn't even really.
What?
I don't know why. I just didn't care for whatever reason. It's the complete opposite of how I am now.
Did you tell him, well, this is why it happened?
Oh, yeah. And you know what? So he was an Iron Maiden fan, and he totally understood. He was really cool. He's like, listen, the last thing you need is another ticket. So do me a favor, slow down, and up the irons. And that was it.
That rules.
So
That was
cool.
the coolest time I've ever been pulled over. Of all the times I've been pulled over.
Everyone's probably had this experience, right? You got a song cranking. I guess at least this report says it has to be a certain amount of beats per minute. It doesn't necessarily have to be a fast song, but you got a song cranking in the car, and you lose yourself in the song, and you find yourself going faster than you should, or something along those lines. It happens.
Yeah.
It can be dangerous, but it happens. For me, Helloween is that band for me, Josh.
Oh, I could understand.
When I listen to Helloween, their melodic, fast-paced metal, I find myself speeding, and I do not speed. Josh and I are very much alike. We both say we hover around 61, 62 miles per hour. I don't care where the hell I am. That's usually my speed limit. Well, I mean, of course, not on a 20 mile per hour. But if I'm on the major highways, I just don't speed. But a good speed, well, not speed metal, but a good melodic metal song does that to me.
Mine would be any like girl power song. That usually makes my foot a
Like
little
WAP?
heavier. Yes, exactly that one.
But then again, there are also songs that might bring you to a crawl. Ashley just learned about the song a few days ago.
Oh, yeah. Did you listen to that at all?
No, I didn't.
That one will make you pull over and take a nap.
All right, I'm going to listen to it on the way home today. I got to check that out.
It is a good song.
Do you know the song?
I know of it.
Yeah.
Who sings that?
Crash Test.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
world.
Wait,
we
you even
brought it
know
up.
about the song?
That's saying something.
Well, it's 30 years old. The world famous crash test dummies. Yeah. All right, we got to get going. Thanks, Janelle.
Thanks, you guys.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants to wish you a happy holiday season and wants to let you know that Standard Heating is ready if you face a heating emergency. Their expert team is available through the holidays to make sure you stay warm and safe, no matter what. Become a Smart Club member so that you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered for the upcoming winter season. For more info or 24/7 emergency heating services, call 612-824-2656. Comfort you deserve since 1930.